development of lung cancer, for example, nandyan din yung COPD or chronic obstructive pulmonary diseases. Bakit? Kasi nga po dun sa mga substances na nandun sa sigarilyo, yan po ay napag-aralan na ang daming chemicals sa isang hit-hit lang ng sigarilyo. Coupled to that, yung init, no? Yung init. Kasi syempre, pag hinihigop mo yung sigarilyo, so yung heat lang will cause certain local damage already sa daanan ng hangin natin at yung pamamaga. So nandyan, which makes you prone sa mga respiratory tract infection as well.
Napaka-importante yon. And for the longest time, no, cigarette smoking, nakikita natin yun, is hazardous to your health. Pero Dr. Joubert, lately, parang napapauso ang isang form of nicotine administration ay ang pag-vape or ito yung mga electronic cigarettes, kumbaga, no? Do we already have enough data? Is this just as harmful as cigarette? Ano bang alam natin ngayon pag tungkol sa vape? Because marami ang mga naninigarilyo nagsiswitch to vape with the thinking na less harmful
Less
ito.
harmful. Definitely, tama ka doon. And definitely, I would like to already say, it's harmful. And certainly, as far as the data that you have mentioned, yes, nagsimula po ang data sa CDC in the US, wherein they tell you that there is vaping-associated lung injury or VALI na tinatawag po namin. More than 20,000 na ang reported sa US. Sa Philippines, ang first documented nating VALI condition was a relatively young individual from the Visayas, 2019 documented, na siya ay nagkaroon ng pneumonia, severe lung infection, tapos po ito ay nagkaroon na ng mga certain permanent damage sa baga because of vaping. So definitely, ang Philippine College of Chest Physicians hindi po ina-advise na ang pag-vape gagawin yung means to quit from smoking. It does not follow. Wala pa pong magandang pag-aaral na nagsasabing vaping can reduce your smoking, no? And certainly, marami na po rin tayong alam sa mga volatile organic compounds na tinatawag that comes from vaping. Definitely dangerous po ito sa baga natin.
Pag hindi tayo naninigarilyo, pag hindi tayo nagbe-vape, absuelto na ba tayo sa mga lung disease?
Certainly not. Hindi lang po sigarilyo yung kino-consider naming risk factor for certain lung diseases. Let's take for example lung cancer. Definitely sigarilyo po ang number 1 na risk factor for lung cancer. Pero hindi lang po yung mismong cigarette smoking, second-hand cigarette, kasama na dyan. Age, commonly nakikita po namin ang cancer between 50 to 79 years of age. Exposure to certain environmental risk factors na tinatawag asbestos, radon exposure.
Ito yung pagkasama sa trabaho.
Yes, environmental occupational history kasama po dyan. So hindi lang po nako-confine talaga sa smoking and possibly vaping po yung mga dangers, no, sa lungs natin. Certainly yung ating kalidad ng hangin, air pollution, marami na po ring pag-aaral dyan. Maybe it can tell you na pagpangit po ang quality ng air, mas prone po yung mga tao magkaroon ng lung infection, kasama na po yung tuberculosis. And certainly, dyan po lumalabas din sometimes yung bronchitis, yung asthma or hika.
Since you mentioned tuberculosis, let's go by that because it's also unfortunately common here in the Philippines compared to the rest of the world. Ano? So this is very serious with other countries as well. Pagdating sa tuberculosis, gaano ka seryoso ito? Paano ba talaga natatransmit ito? At anong pwedeng gawin ng ating mga viewers para mapababa ang risk na magkakuha ng tuberculosis?
Ang masama po doon, as of 2022 data natin, 650 per 100,000 Filipinos po ang may TB, or roughly translate 10.6 million yung incidence, no? Tayo po ay number 4 worldwide, contributing to 80% of the world's TB cases. So certainly, TB is still a big problem po sa ating bansa. At tama po kayo, anong pwede natin when dun ka mas nakakahawa sa paligid mo. So ang ibig po sabihin, cough etiquette pa rin is the way to go.
Walking pneumonia is a common concern for many nowadays. But there are steps we can take to protect against it. More of this when we return. Stay with us here on MedTalk, Health Talk.
United States reiterates its solid relationship with the Philippines and it would be ready to provide support to improve the country's defense capability. Inirekomenda ng Migrant Workers Department pag-aralan muli ang labor agreement na nilagdaan ng Pilipinas at Kuwait noong 2018. Sakay ng Qatar Airways, dumating bandang alas 4 ng hapon ang unang batch ng Filipino repatriate. Liz Tanudalo, CNN Philippines.
A storm with damaging winds blew through Jeff Davis County, Georgia, causing extensive damage to Charles Marchant's farm in Hazelhurst.
The front half of the barn's gone, and the back half is gone.
He found a container in this tree line. According to the National Weather Service, a gustnado, yes, a gustnado, was responsible for the damage that wreaked havoc to his property. But here's where it gets unusual. The gustnado, it huffed and puffed and steered this bull into a different pen. Or you could say it moved the bull, if you need a second pun.
We had one bull wound up in this pen where there was some traffic. And we couldn't figure out how he got there because the gates were shut.
People got wind of the bull story and hope the legend is legitimate.
Or is that bull manure you talking about?
Now to another storm which had a daring rescue. 4 students were camping on top of a snowy gorge when they got stranded. Yes, camping in those very, very, very chilly conditions. The students stayed overnight and underestimated the weather. The heroes of the Kentucky State Police Aircraft Branch swooped in and saw the 4 students huddled together, plucking them from that peak and sailing off to safety. They're all doing fine now, and hopefully they're in a much, much, much warmer place. For Take a Look at This, I'm Patrick Cornell.
Department of Health recently recorded cases of walking pneumonia here in the Philippines. But what exactly is walking pneumonia? Gaano ka iba ito sa quote-unquote regular pneumonia? Well, let's welcome back Dr. Jubert Benedicto, who's a pulmonary critical care specialist. Dr. Jubert, bago natin pag-usapan yung walking pneumonia, let's talk about pneumonia in general. Pag sinabing pneumonia, anong ibig sabihin nito?
Ang pneumonia po kasi, infection sa baga, talagang parenkima ng lungs or yung kaduluduluhan ang naapektuhan niya, hindi lang yung daanan ng hangin. Commonly, causes po ng pneumonia, bacteria, virus, pwedeng fungus. That's why we need frequently an X-ray to possibly document na pneumonia. Tapos, usually, hinihingan ang pasyente ng mga sputum exam para ma-document talaga. Yun yung gold standards pa rin natin for the diagnosis.
Pagdating sa simptomas, Dr. Jubert, ano ang pwedeng red flag, kumbaga, sa ating mga viewers that may prompt them to seek consult with a pulmonologist, with a physician? Meron bang pwedeng sa tunog ng ubo, sa duration ng ubo, kung may lagnat?
Ang pulmonya po kasi, ang presentation niya at the onset, napaka-non-specific. So, konting ubo, pamamaos, minsan may lagnat, sinat, so parang hindi papansinin ng tao, ano? So tama ka, kung yun ang presentation, ano ba ang red flag? Definitely, pag yung ubo nyo po ay tumatagal, higit na po ng 3-5 araw, magpakonsulta ka na. Number 2, pag may kasama itong paghihingal, no? Yung hingal na hindi biro ay mas madali kang mapagod kahit ginagawa mo lang yung gawaing bahay, yung usual mong ginagawa, pagod ka na, magpakonsulta ka. Sometimes po yung plema natin, nag-iibang kulay, nagkakaroon pa ng bahid ng dugo. Pag yun po nangyari, dapat magpakonsulta ka rin, lalong-lalo na kung ikaw ay may comorbidity. So ito po ay mga, let's say, extremes of age, mga senior citizen natin, tapos may diabetes ka, let's say, may sakit ka sa puso, may emphysema ka, tapos parang nararamdaman mo, kakaiba tong ubo na to, I encourage you to consult already with your doctor.
Okay, maganda yan na explanation, especially when it comes to pneumonia in general. Ngayon, pag-usapan natin yung napapausong balita about walking pneumonia. Gaano ito kaiba should we take extra care because of this walking pneumonia?
Ang walking pneumonia po kasi tulad nung ating definition sa pulmonya, sakit nga po siya sa baga, infection. Ang sa walking pneumonia lang kasi milder version ito ng pneumonia. Kaya nga po, hindi bedridden ng isang pasyente, pakiramdam niya, nakakagawa pa siya ng gusto niyang gawin, mga bata nakakagaw pa sa school. Ano po ba ang sanhi ng walking pneumonia? Hindi lang po siya bacteria, pwede pong virus. Yes, it is by time, after let's say 5 days, okay na ang pakiramdam mo. Pero certainly, nakita po natin sa mga pag-aaral, yung walking pneumonia madalas, hindi lang virus, kundi yung mga atypical bacteria yung cause nito. Principally yung Mycoplasma pneumonia or kaya chlamydia. So ito po yung mga hindi po ganun katindi ang tama siguro sa baga, kaya nakakapaglakad pa ang isang pasyente. Pero sabi ko nga, kung ikaw ay may mga comorbidities, no, hindi biro po ito kasi hindi po natin madidistinguish, no, just by the symptoms ng patient, pareho silang konting ubo. Yung walking pneumonia po, nagsisimula na sore throat, pamamaos po.
So parang trangkaso?
Parang trangkaso, pero hindi prominent yung systemic manifestation niya. Hindi prominent yung lagnat, hindi prominent yung pagsasakit ng kasukasuan. It's really more of upper airway na manifestation. Pero pag tinignan mo, after let's say second, third day, magugulat ka, parang nagiging bedridden ka na. Nandiyan na, no? Unti-unti na siyang nagpapakita sa'yo, nagpaparamdam. So, doon mo lang makikita na, ay, hindi na to biro, hindi lang to allergy or something.
Okay, isa pa, Doctor, ang kondisyon ng baga natin that doesn't get enough emphasis is that of emphysema. How do we get emphysema? Ano bang nangyayari sa baga natin kapag ang isang tao ay may emphysema?
Ang emphysema po, isang classification siya ng chronic obstructive pulmonary disease na tinatawag. Ano? So pag sinabi natin emphysema, talagang yan po ay greatly linked with smoking. Dahil po sa paninigarilyo, nasisira po yung structure ng baga. So yung baga po natin na sana parang lobo or balloon, papasok si oxygen, lalabas si carbon dioxide. Dahil pangit yung architecture niya, pumapasok yung hangin, pero hindi naman nakakalabas ng maayos yung hangin. So naiipon yung hangin sa dulo ng baga. Ang nangyayari tuloy sa pasyente, hinihingal siya kasi pinipilit niyang ilabas yung hangin na naipon. So yung po talaga ang emphysema, hira po talaga yan sa dulo ng daanan ng hangin.
Kapag ang isang tao, Dr. Joubert, ay na-diagnose with emphysema at tinigil na niya ang kanyang smoking, nagsisisi na talaga siya, inumin ko na yung gamot ko, papalitan ko na yung lifestyle ko, babalik ba ang baga sa dati?
Hindi po siya babalik dahil permanenteng damage na yon. Pero definitely, kung siya ay huminto na sa paninigarilyo, naging compliant po sa mga gamot, inhalers, or tableta, ang masasabi ko lang, makokontrol po natin yung paghihingal niya. So, hindi natin naaasahan na anatomically, babalik yung baga sa dati, yung kalidad ng baga. Ang aasahan po natin, magiging less yung air trapping na tinatawag o yung pag-ipon ng hangin. And therefore, yung pasyente po, mas kukonti ang paghingal niya.
So ang pinaka-importante dyan, Doctor, is wag natin paabutin to the point na meron na tayong emphysema. Lifestyle changes is very important, which we will be talking about after the break. Ano ba ang mga pwede natin gawin para lumakas ang ating baga? So stay with us here on Med Talk, Health Talk.
In just 1 year, San Miguel has cleared more than 1 million tons of waste from Bulacan rivers, undertaking this initiative at zero cost to the government and taxpayers. The effort aims to alleviate long-standing flooding issues in Bulacan, particularly affecting low-lying areas in the past few decades.
To date, San Miguel has removed 1.2 cubic meters of silt and solid waste in overlying rivers in the Bulacan International Airport project. That includes the rivers of Maycapis, Taliptip, Maykawayan, and Bambang. Further north, we have included the starting of a dredging and cleaning up in the mouth of Amarawan River, which is part of the town of Malolos. This accomplishment highlights San Miguel's commitment to environmental stewardship. It contributes significantly to the clearing and increasing water capacity. The Bulacan River cleanup just reached its 1 million cubic meter milestone in just 1 year, as compared to our previous project, the Tulyahan River project, which was completed in 27 months, whereas the Pasig River is completed in 20 months. The speed of this achievement is a testament to the dedication of the San Miguel cleanup team and, of course, the experience gained from our previous dredging and cleanup projects, and the pooling of additional equipment and manpower to have an effective and faster result.
San Miguel is also expanding its efforts to more upstream rivers in the province as part of the recently launched Adopt a River project. This initiative by SMC also covers rivers and tributaries in Pampanga, Cavite, Navotas, Laguna, and other areas.
Bathymetric surveys and hydraulic studies are conducted before the formal start of these activities, and we are expecting to proceed this coming December.
As San Miguel Corporation leads the restoration of our rivers, it's important to recognize that preserving these vital resources is a shared responsibility. Let's unite to ensure that the progress in river restoration becomes a lasting legacy, securing a cleaner, safer environment for future generations.
Police and first responders rescued 21 skiers and snowboarders in Vermont over the weekend. The Killington Police Department was first notified that 7 thrill seekers got lost in the backcountry. Turns out that total took a turn and the task tripled. The search and rescue team spent several hours hiking, snowshoeing, and skinning across 5 miles. What is skinning, you ask? It's traveling on skis uphill. Yeah, my legs hurt just thinking about it. All 21 adventurers are safe and no one was hurt, just a little cold and extremely grateful to be out of the situation. Even our best and brightest run into sticky situations. The good people at NASA's Johnson Space Center in Houston found that out the hard way. In September of last year, the OSIRIS-REx capsule landed safely, a little charred, but safely nonetheless in Utah's Great Salt Lake Desert. What was in that capsule, you ask? Samples collected in 2020 from a 4.6 billion year old asteroid. Incredibly impressive, right? But there's always a but. There was one tiny problem. NASA couldn't crack that capsule open. After fidgeting with the contraption for months, NASA scientists finally figured it out. After successfully removing 2 final fasteners, they were able to reveal the treasure inside, rock pieces from the asteroid. NASA's planetary division very excitedly posted this. It's open, it's open. It did travel 1.2 billion miles after all, so thank goodness for perseverance. Even NASA scientists just need a little time. From space to a frigid, frosty lake. Take a look at this stunning drone video showing Lake Michigan frozen in time in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. A pretty picture, probably not a swimming spot this time of year, but you certainly can't beat that view from above. For Take a Look at This, I'm Patrick Cornell.
Now, we often don't think about our lungs despite how important it is for our health. Imagine, ang paghinga natin sa isang araw ay over 23,000 times. So, kailangan talaga malakas na malakas ang ating mga baga para sa overall health natin. And here to give us the correct tips and what really works to keep our lungs healthy, let's welcome back Dr. Jubert Benedicto, who's a pulmonary critical care specialist. Ito na, Dr. Jubert, to emphasize how important it is to have healthy lungs. Kung merong isang ugali ang mga Pilipino na dapat baguhin para sa epektibong pagganda ng baga natin, ano kaya ito? What is this change that we Filipinos must do?
Number one po siguro doon, kung ikaw ay naninigarilyo, tumigil ka na sa paninigarilyo. At kung ikaw ay hindi naninigarilyo or nagbe-vape, huwag mo nang subukan manigarilyo o mag-vape. Natitake natin for granted, tamang exercise pa rin. So, yung mga exercise na sinasabi namin po madalas sa pasyente, kahit breathing exercises na regular. Kasi ang gusto po natin, hinahatak natin yung baga natin para po sila ay masanay maging effective organs for gas exchange. So madalas pong sinasabi ko sa pasyente ko yung rule na 5-5-5. Ibig sabihin, 5 seconds, hihinga ka papasok sa ilong, tapos 5 seconds, may breath hold, tapos 5 seconds, ilabas mo ng dahan-dahan sa bibig. So gawin mo lang yung ugali kahit 10 times every hour tuwing gising. No? Kasi ordinarily, pag nag-uusap tayo, pag naglalakad, hindi naman tayo humihinga ng malalim eh. Hindi ka conscious sa paghinga. Pero siguro it's about time. Actually, yung sa breathing exercises na yun, it also calms you down. Diba? Sana less yung stress kasi nga lifestyle change siya. Yung pangatlo siguro, tamang nutrition. Doon pa rin po tayo sa Pinggang Pinoy. So, 1/2 vegetables. Tapos, kung sakasakali, yung 1/4 nun, protein, and then the other food groups. Vegetables po talaga, natitake natin yan for granted. No? Dapat, maging conscious tayo sa dieta natin. Huwag sana masyadong fast food.
But doctor, will all of these tips effective pa rin ba sa isang taong, let's say, asthmatic or may hika ang isang tao? Pwede pa rin bang maging healthy ang lungs nila?
The fact na at risk siya, mas gusto ko sigurong i-emphasize sa kanya healthy lifestyle. Kasi kumbaga, lamang na yung ibang kaedad niya siguro na hindi magkakaroon ng hika kumpara sa kanyang galing sa pamilyang may hika. Healthy lifestyle pa rin, lalo-lalo na males mo sana yung exposure mo sa potential triggers. Tapos at the same time, kung sakasakali, dahil maganda yung pangangatawan mo, konting insulto lang nito ng trigger, kayang-kaya mong labanan para hindi sumumpong yung hika mo. So hindi pa rin po huli ang lahat, kahit na sabihin nating at risk ka for certain diseases. Yes, lifestyle changes can do a lot for you.
Here is the part, Dr. Jubert, where we ask questions from our audiences here in MedTalk Health Talk. And this is a very good help for them. And we have our first question here.
Yung mga usok ba na galing sa pagluluto or insenso ay masama rin ba sa baga?
Yes, masama po siya. Isa po siya sa tinatawag na yung biomass fuel. So lalo na kung kulong po at hindi well ventilated po yung area ninyo. Yes, isa na po siya sa napatunayang pwedeng mag-cause pag long-term po ang exposure niyan because of the heat, because yun ngang sa gas na-inhale mo, po pwedeng mag-cause ng chronic obstructive pulmonary disease yan. Proven na yan, even among non-smokers.
So yung pagluluto ng madalas, yung mga may karinderya na buong araw
lalo na kung
nagluluto.
hindi ventilated.
Oo, okay. So what can they do? Kasama yun sa hanap buhay nila.
Mas maganda siguro ang i-advise ko ventilation.
Ventilation is always important. Okay. We have here another question. Ang tanong is,
Meron bang lung disease na pwedeng mamana?
Yes, ang isa po dyan, cancer. Pwede po. No? So, pag may family history ka ng cancer, sometimes po nakikita namin nagiging at risk yung certain individuals for that. Hika, namamana din po yan. Not necessarily yung hika per se, pero yung pagiging allergic ng isang parent siguro napapasa niya sa kanyang anak, tapos nagiging hyperreactive yung airway. So yan po yung mga example na pwede pong mamana.
Okay, so marami tayong natutunan with you now, Dr. Joubert. Before we go though, anong message nyo sa mga viewers? Meron ba tayong tips or messages para, of course, sa healthy lungs natin?
Ang sasabihin ko lang po siguro, let's start dun sa elements na within our control. Kasi hindi po natin kontrolado yung weather. Sometimes hindi natin kontrolado yung air pollution. Anong kaya natin kontrolin? Yung bisyo po, di ba, bawasan natin. Kung sakasakali, updated dapat po yung vaccination against flu, pneumonia vaccine, especially kung may mga senior citizen. And definitely po, yung na-emphasize natin kanina, healthy lifestyle. That means regular exercise as much as possible. 3 times in a week lang po, 30 minutes per session ng walking will do wonders for you. Proper nutrition.
Very good advice there. And you heard it from the expert, critical care specialist, Dr. Joubert Benedicto. Thank you so much for joining us here on MedTalk Health Talk. Marami talaga tayong natutunan sa inyo today.
Always welcome.
At the heart of our lungs and overall health are healthy habits. Remember, don't smoke, get enough exercise, and reduce your exposure to pollutants as much as you can. I'm Dr. Freddy Gomez, and thank you for joining us here on MedTalk Health Talk.
This program is rated PG. It contains themes and scenes which may not be suitable for very young audiences. Parental guidance is advised.
Hello, everyone. Well, fasten your seatbelts and get ready to take off because in the next half hour, Wholesome Meals Better Life will take you on a tour with cocktails from around the world. I'm Christine Jacobs Sandejas, and this program is brought to you by San Miguel Corporation. You can now experience your dream destination without leaving your doorstep. And yes, you heard that right. Today, we'll indulge in bold and premium tasting drinks inspired by the land of the rising sun, Japan. Well, don't worry, because these flavors of Japan are so easy to actually mix at home. Well, let's kick things off with our guest mixologist who will share his best practices. And he is an awarded bartender known for placing top 30 in class 2020 and currently a bartender for one of the most sought-out bars in the metro, the Spirits Library. Please welcome Claude De Lima. Hi, Claude. Thank you so much for being with us.
Hi, thank you too.
Well, you know, we're so happy you're here and, of course, truly honored. And with that, let's take a trip to Japan. So why don't you introduce these amazing refreshments that you prepared for us today?
Sure. Kitang-kita nyo naman, our first batch of cocktails are no doubt inspired by Japan. Mapapasugoi or amazing ka with their bold aroma and premium flavors. We have the Cherry Blossom and the Black Samurai Negroni, both made with GSM Premium Gin. And also, we have the Kamikaze made with Antonov Vodka.
Wow, I mean, take a look at this. These are visually diverse and high quality, but all made with budget-friendly spirits such as the GSM Premium Gin and Antonov Vodka. And since, well, I mentioned budget, Claude, diba? I mean, can you please share some tips with our viewers, I mean, who actually want to learn a little bit of mixology? We do this regularly, but for our first-timers, what do we need to start learning how to mix our own drink?
First, the Boston Shaker. We use this to blend and shake all our ingredients. At home, pwede kayong gumamit ng tumbler instead. Second tool, the jigger. We use this naman to measure our ingredients. As an option, you can use a shot glass at home. See this? The bar spoon. Yes, this one is used for stirring, muddling, and mixing drinks. Kung wala kayo nito at home, then use a chopstick instead. Next, we have the bar knife. Pwedeng gumamit ng any kitchen knife as an alternative. Here's a muddler used for mashing fruits. At home, you can use a wooden spoon instead. And finally, the pour spout.
Our viewers will surely appreciate all that you have taught us today. Now, Claude, you know I've been eyeing these Japanese-inspired cocktails since we started. So what should we try first?
Let's start with something sweet and refreshing. The Cherry Blossom made with GSM Premium Gin. Alam mo, Christine, this drink is a very sweet and fruity drink.
Oh, sounds like something I would enjoy. And take a look at the presentation. It's very fancy. And it really embodies the sakura or cherry blossoms, which many tourists visit in Japan during the sakura season to see its radiant beauty, just like our cocktails here. I can't wait to try it. How is it made? Madali lang ba?
Yes, it's a very easy to make drink, even at home.
Now, what I like here as well is the mix of sweet flavors, diba? From the cherry syrup and the smooth aroma of GSM Premium Gin.
Define your premium with GSM Premium Gin. And look, it now comes in a new premium look, but in the same 750 ml bottle.
Wow, so sleek and premium for GSM Premium Gin. Now, Claude, can you please show our viewers here how they can have a taste of that cherry blossom at home?
Definitely. Let's start with the ingredients. 45 ml GSM Premium Gin, 5 ml sweet vermouth, 10 ml cherry syrup, and 10 ml simple syrup. When you're good with the ingredients, just follow these easy steps. First, pour all the ingredients into a cocktail shaker. Next, add ice and shake for about 5 to 8 seconds to make sure the flavors are mixed together. Finally, pour it into a chilled cocktail glass, drop a stem cherry or use it as an accent in the drink, and you're all set. I told you, Christine, madali lang itong gawin at home.
I can't wait to try this, and I'm saving this recipe for later, Claude. I mean, it's really fun to make, and sabi mo nga, walang hassle, diba? It's so easy to do at home. Now, when it comes to taste, I trust GSM Premium Gin since it's made with natural ingredients and citrus flavors. And you can even enjoy GSM Premium as it is neat, chilled, or with ice.
GSM Premium Gin is a versatile and high-quality drink na perfect for celebrations and get-togethers this summer. Yeah, guys, let me hear you say, gin is in.
Gin is in, and gin is definitely in. Be it neat, on the rocks, or mixed in a cocktail, its flavors will definitely stand out now. Speaking of mix, Claude,
here's our next drink naman, the Black Samurai Negroni, also made with GSM Premium Gin. So this drink is a very straightforward drink, just like in the family of the Negroni.
well, just by looking at it, I mean, you can already tell that this one is stronger or actually bolder than the cherry blossom. Now, our Black Samurai Negroni has, get this, a refreshing citrus to it now, and that's all thanks to GSM Premium Gin. I mean, this one, Claude, already has, you know, that citrusy smell to it, taste to it, very refreshing, something that you can enjoy during the hot summer days. And of course, we're all curious, Claude, about this drink. I mean, take a look at it. So classy, Black Samurai Negroni. Please show us how to prepare this one.
Sure. For our Black Samurai Negroni, we would need 45 ml GSM Premium Gin, 45 ml Martini Rosso, 15 ml Koromitsu or Black Caramel. You can also make this Koromitsu or Black Caramel mix at home. It's simply a dark sugar syrup made with Muscovado. Just melt the Muscovado with water and you'll have a homemade Koromitsu. Just follow the steps and you'll be done in no time. First, fill it in the glass with ice. Then, pour all the ingredients one by one and stir it well. Finally, just garnish it with an orange peel. Easy, right?
So easy. I'm going to make this once I get home, Claude. Thank you so much. Now, another premium quality cocktail made without the hassle, something we all like.
Pasok pa sa budget yet quality made ang GSM Premium Gin with its new look and is available in the same 750 ml bottle.
Wow, a true definition of premium. Thanks to GSM Premium Gin, you can now define your premium and celebrate premium moments.
Christine, our flavors of Japan wouldn't be complete without our Kamikaze made with Antonov vodka. This drink is a very citrus, straightforward also kind of drink.
I mean, the name itself, I mean, I'm already intrigued and a lot of people I know enjoy a Kamikaze. At a glance, you'll think now, super simple, diba? But the longer you hold the drink, the flavor actually starts to come out one by one. Well, there's a hint of sweetness and zest thanks to the lime juice and wedges. Then you can feel the mild kick coming from Antonov Vodka.
This is actually my favorite among all our cocktails, and talagang I'm mixing this at home. Now let me show you how to make it. You'll need 45 ml Antonov Vodka, 20 ml triple sec, 15 ml fresh lime juice. It's an easy peasy mix. First, fill the mixing glass with ice. Next, pour all the ingredients together. Then, shake for about 5 to 8 seconds, then strain it into a chilled cocktail glass. Finally, garnish your drink with a lime wheel.
I think I have my favorite with you as well, Claude. I'm liking this drink. I mean, flavorful and, of course, a premium quality cocktail done in just minutes.
It's guaranteed to give a good time without the hangover. That's Antonov Vodka just for you.
And while you said the magic word, Antonov Vodka is a premium local vodka, a Monde Selection Award-winning vodka, pure and bold, without the hangover, available in 700 ml bottles. And that's a big check mark for our list of cocktails inspired by Japan. And to take our tasting experience to the next level, well, why not add a sushi platter when enjoying these premium quality drinks? Oh, there you go.
We've had a taste of the cherry blossom and the black samurai Negroni. These are made with world-class and export-quality GSM Premium Gin. Define your premium.
Now, define your premium with GSM Premium Gin with its new look, but same 750 ml bottle. So grab one now in convenience stores, supermarkets, or groceries near you.
We've also had the Kamikaze, made with Antonov Vodka, the premium local vodka without the hangover.
And Antonov Vodka in 700 ml bottle is available in convenience stores, supermarkets, or groceries near you. And that is our first batch of premium tasting Japanese-inspired cocktails. So, arigatou gozaimasu, Claude. Thank you for that.
Christy.
And we still have more cocktails and flavors to explore from around the world. So don't go away. Wholesome Meals, Better Life will be right back.
Local governments can house patients with mild cases in so-called isolation facilities for now. The pilots are doing their best to spot each and every resident. Kung makita ninyo sa aking paligid ay hindi pa rin humuhupa yung baha. Umabot yung level ng baha dito sa bubungang ito.
Nagpapatuyo rin sila ng kanilang mga gamit.
Rex Remitio, CNN Philippines.
Quiapo Church is a de facto shrine because of the millions of devotees coming over, experiencing the miracles of the Jesus Nazareno. In the church, we also have a canonical recognition if a church is a shrine. And we found out that Quiapo Church has really been given that title as a national shrine. Now, being a national shrine, all the more we are mandated to really come up with a correct catechesis, teaching, guidance, so that people would also understand the devotion and also practice it correctly. Not just for Quiapo, but for all the devotees of the Jesus Nazareno. A devotee should also realize more than the piety, more than the exercise of religion, it's also an exercise of responsible citizenship and being a human being to a fellow human being, which is very important because Jesus came to save all humanity and to be the savior of all people. And a devotee should also have that embrace and concern for others.
From the flavors of Japan, we now indulge in smooth cocktails inspired by our country with a little bit of Hallyu wave. To simply put it, well, these are drinks that are very Filipino, plus drinks with a Korean touch. Now, trust me, just a whiff and it will make you say, gin is in. Back here to help us is our guest mixologist, of course, Claude Lavina.
What's up, Christine? Are you ready for our next batch of cocktails?
I am so ready. I mean, can't you see this big smile of mine? I am ready.
First up, a Filipino drink that's so refreshing at napakasarap hanggang sa huling patak. The Mango Paradise made with Ginebra San Miguel. Our next two cocktails are Korean-inspired naman. We have the yogurt gin fizz and the gin nata, both made with GSM Blue Light Gin.
Now, would you look at that? I mean, whether it's Filipino or Korean, these flavorful cocktails are here to help us chill and enjoy. So gin is definitely in with these cocktails. Now, Claude, I heard that, of course, you prepared for us another mixology lesson. I mean, what would you like to share with our viewers? Kanina, you had the basic tools. Ngayon naman ay?
Sure, Christine. I will be doing the ingredients. Madali lang to, guys. Just remember these two. The liquor or the spirit and the modifier or mixer. Good example ng spirit or liquor natin ay ang Ginebra San Miguel Gin. And for the modifiers or mixers naman, we have the mango juice. Don't forget the ice when you're making a drink.
So spirits and mixers, well, that's easy to remember, diba? So Claude, ano naman ang next that we have to remember?
There's a mixology trick that you should always keep in mind. 1:2 ratio. Basically, 1 portion of liquor should be added with 2 portions of modifiers or mixers. Again, that's 1:2 ratio.
Okay, that will definitely come in handy when I mix my drinks at home, and I'm sure our viewers will appreciate this mixology lesson as well. Thank you so much for sharing with us. Now we're ready to mix our drinks because gin is in. So let's start our tasting tour in the Philippines with Mango Paradise, made with the world's largest selling gin, of course, Ginebra San Miguel.
So this drink is basically a very fruity, very tropical kind of drink.
Now the mango juice looks, already smells sweet, diba? But trust me, the right kick of Ginebra San Miguel gin is enough to awaken your senses. And Claude, you know what I love about this is that it is very representative of us Filipinos, and syempre, the mango is the national fruit. And Ginebra San Miguel gin has been a staple of Filipino families for generations.
To our viewers, you can also have a taste of the Mango Paradise by simply following these steps. The ingredients we need are 240 ml Ginebra San Miguel gin, 2 cheeks of ripe mangoes, 60 ml fresh lime juice, 60 ml sugar syrup, and to top it off, we have lemon soda. Don't worry about your preparation. You can enjoy this drink in just a few minutes. First, put the ripe mango, lime juice, sugar syrup, and Ginebra San Miguel in a blender. Blend until smooth. Next, transfer the mixture in a pitcher and set aside. Then, fill glass with ice, followed by pouring the mango gin mixture and fill about half of the glass. Top it up with lemon soda and stir well. Finally, garnish with lime wheel and mango slices. You're now good to go.
There you go. Now gin is in, Claude. As you said, this is another cocktail I'm going to try mixing at home. It is simply worth it. Hanggang sa huling patak, you can taste Ginebra San Miguel in every drop. And again, Ginebra San Miguel gin is available in sari-sari stores, supermarkets, and groceries nationwide.
While you enjoy your Mango Paradise, Christine, I'm going to introduce some Hallyu Wave to our viewers. Here we have the yogurt gin fizz, made special with GSM Blue Light Gin. So this drink is a very refreshing drink. This is perfect for a summer cocktail.
Oh, this yogurt gin fizz looks chillaxing. I mean, this is the type of drink that you'll carry around when you're in a party, or whether you're enjoying your K-drama or listening to your favorite K-pop hits. Something that you can always enjoy, and it's also worth mentioning that it has a smooth and light aroma. Well, that's all thanks to GSM Blue Light Gin.
Kaya nga people love GSM Blue Light Gin because it's versatile and ready to drink. You can enjoy it chilled, on the rocks, or like this one, mixed in our yogurt milk drink.
Can you please demonstrate how to make this?
No problemo. Let's gather our ingredients first. 45 ml GSM Blue Light Gin, 1 yogurt milk drink, 60 ml of lemon lime soda. Trust me, this is just another easy mix. First, fill a glass with ice. Then, pour all the ingredients into the glass and stir it well. Finally, garnish it with stem cherry. See that, Christine? You're gonna love this hassle-free prep of our yogurt gin fizz.
I mean, I love it already. I agree with you, and I'm sure our viewers will agree as well. Talagang GSM Blue Light Gin will make any and every celebration chill and enjoy. And to our viewers, the GSM Blue Light Gin is available in 350 ml and in 700 ml bottles.
All right, guys, let's cap off the night with our final cocktail for this batch. The Gin Nata, made special with GSM Blue Light Gin. This drink, Christine, is a very fruity and nutty because of the lychee, and very refreshing drink.
I like it. I mean, I'll be honest, you know, it has similarities with the yogurt gin fizz that we tried earlier, but our Gin Nata is far more inviting visually with the wonderful colors, and I like how the nata de coco adds a little bit texture, diba, in this drink. A bit sweet and a bit fruity in terms of aroma, and thanks to the mix of lychee drink with coconut jelly and GSM Blue Light Gin.
Christine, while you enjoy your Gin Nata, I'll show to our viewers how they can make one naman at home. You need 60 ml GSM Blue Light Gin, lychee drink with coconut jelly, 30 ml lychee syrup, 5 ml cherry syrup, 30 ml of lemon soda. Let's start mixing our Gin Nata. First, fill the glass with ice and pour all the ingredients. Finally, garnish your drink with some lychee and cherry on a cocktail pick.
Well, Claude, another quick and easy mix. So thank you so much for sharing this wonderful drink. I'm going to enjoy it. So choose GSM Blue, everyone. A truly light alcohol, perfect for fun mixes. And to enjoy these Pinoy and Korean-inspired cocktails, it's best to pair it with the savory and grilled goodness of samgyeopsal or Korean barbecue. Gin is really in with these mixes.
To recap, today we've got to taste the Mango Paradise made with Ginebra San Miguel Gin. We also enjoyed the Yogurt Gin Fizz and the Gin Nata, both made extra special with GSM Blue Light Gin.
Thank you so much, Claude.
You are welcome, Christine.
Okay, just a quick recap. So Japan, check, and we have Philippines and Korea, check. And our final batch of refreshments, well, we're taking a direct flight to Spain. Sounds exciting, right? So don't go away, because Wholesome Meals, Better Life will be right back. At San Miguel Foods Culinary Center's Food Forward, a taste of 2024 food trends. So we want to be abreast with the trends so that the consumers will be able to explore and play with the products. It's a wide array of food and beverage products that we have in their daily cooking. We have sustainable dining and health span wellness. More plant-forward choices, edible containers, more better-for-you food items, borderless global flavors, which talks about third culture cuisines, the fusing of more than one cuisine together. The fourth trend is retro revival and nostalgia, retro-themed flavors and colors noon. Then we have the fifth trend, which is Little Lux. It's all about pure indulgence. And then for beer, I like it that they're into fruit-based. So we have the San Miguel flavored beer, the zero and free, and of course, Cerveza Blanca and that hard sell. So there's something for everyone. Aside from that, the cocktail scene is evolving. Now they're into botanicals because that is trending, spices, herbs, and it's so regional. It's all about connecting with food. So that's why we see social and communal dining there. So a lot of memories being created connected to food. So we want everyone to try our products and use it to transform simple dishes into something more special
with a little twist here and there.
And you're still watching Wholesome Meals Better Life. I'm Christine Jacobs-Sandejas. Now, let's have a trip to the timeless plazas of Spain by simply indulging in our final batch of refreshing cocktails. And here we are, our final stop while featuring cocktails around the world. Now, when you say Spain, it's more than just a brandy. It can actually turn your ordinary drinks into an amazing one, which will perk up the whole barkada. So get ready, because our world-class cocktails are imported quality na, suited pa thanks to Primera Light Brandy for its imported ingredients from Spain. And here to help us, let's say hola, Claude, hola!
Hola, Christine. Ready ka na ba sa next tasting tour featuring our Spain-inspired drinks?
Yes, I am so ready. Si, Senor Claude. Now let's get to know these drinks that you have prepared for us.
We have the Cava Sangria and the Agua de Valencia, both made extra smooth with Primera Light Brandy.
Now, from the presentation down to the aroma, I mean, you could already tell that these cocktails are made with high-quality ingredients. Primera Light is no doubt world-class, since it has been a 6-time Monde Selection awardee from 2016 all the way to 2021. And last year, they were awarded with Monde Selection Gold Medal.
Christine, those are really great descriptions of Primera Light Brandy. I can wait to see your reviews for these drinks a little bit later. Now, our trip around the world would not be complete without our final mixology lesson. Here are some basic mixology techniques that you can follow and practice at home. You'll surely master this in no time. Shaking, the most popular technique na may enjoy nyo. Next, stirring, simple and easy, no hassle. Next, straining to separate the liquids from the solid particles. Blending, when you want to achieve a certain thickness. Building, here you start with ice, then add other ingredients after.
Well, these are fun techniques that are easy to remember. Thank you so much, Claude.
You're welcome.
Okay, now to our viewers. Now, don't forget, okay, to practice these so you can become a proper mixologist at home.
Let's kick off with the Cava Sangria made special with Primera Light Brandy. So for this drink, this is a very fruity drink because this is a variation of the sangria.
Now, you know, this is not the usual sangria that you usually see and taste, you know. It is, what's notable about this actually is its balanced fruitiness and sweetness from the Cava Sangria. So be careful. We still have a mild flavor and aroma coming from the Primera Light Brandy, and it feels like you're transported to the streets of Spain.
To our viewers, did you know that Primera Light Brandy is a 55 proof brandy liqueur made with ingredients from Spain? To put it simply, Primera Light Brandy tastes world-class. An affordable price for only 111 pesos. Sobrang sulit nito para sa mga pre natin.
And I'm sure, Claude, our viewers can't wait to try this at home. So once again, please show us how it's done.
All right, let me show you how to mix the Cava Sangria. The ingredients we need are 60 ml Primera Light Brandy, 15 ml Triple Sec, 45 ml fresh orange juice, 10 ml fresh lemon juice, 15 ml sugar syrup, 60 ml lemon lime soda, and also 10 ml of cherry syrup. Now let's mix. First, fill glass with ice. Next, drop the sliced fruit inside the glass. Then, layer the ingredients according to this order. First one is cherry syrup. Next, sugar syrup, orange juice, and then lemon juice, triple sec, Primera Light Brandy. Finally, top with lemon lime soda.
Salamat Free. This is a quick and easy cocktail made with premium quality drink, the Primera Light Brandy.
Wait a minute, Christine. We have one more cocktail in store, the Agua de Valencia made with special Primera Light Brandy. Now, this drink is a very straightforward drink, but with a kick of sweetness.
Wow, I mean, this drink looks perfect for the summer. Just a whiff. Oh, and it feels like you're walking around the province of Valencia in Spain. Well, as expected, smooth and aromatic ang ating Primera Light Brandy that serves as the main spirit for this cocktail.
What's great about Primera Light Brandy, you can enjoy it neat, with ice, or mix in a cocktail like this. Kaya mapapasalamat ka with Primera Light Brandy.
And Claude, now can you show us how to make this one at home?
Definitely. You need 45 ml Primera Light Brandy, 30 ml orange juice, 30 ml lemon lime soda. Let's see if you guys still remember our mixing techniques. First, fill glass with ice. Then, slowly pour lemon lime soda. Next, slowly pour orange juice and then float Primera Light brandy. Finally, garnish with orange wedge and strawberry. And that's it. This fine-tasting brandy will make your summer more refreshing and will turn every moment more special with loved ones, especially with your barkadang Primera.
And with Primera Light Brandy, imported quality na, sulit pa. And you can also avail of your favorite drink, Primera Light Brandy, available in 750 ml bottles. Visit the nearest convenience stores, grocery and supermarkets, and grab one.
To our viewers, to make your Spain-inspired drinks Primerified, why don't you pair it with a Spanish pizza?
Take a look at that. It looks so delicious. Thank you so much, Claude, for that.
Our final batch of cocktails are the Cava Sangria and the Agua de Valencia, both made with Primera Light Brandy. Primera Light Brandy in 750 ml bottle is available in leading groceries and supermarkets nationwide.
Well, thank you so much, Claude, for joining us today and, accompanying me as we tour around the world through these unforgettable drinks.
You are welcome, Christine. It's my honor to be here.
So spice up your home life, staycations, or home party by learning how to mix your own cocktails. Drinks and mixes that will surely take your family and barkada in various destinations in the world, just one sip at a time. And with that, we look forward to sharing more food hacks with you here on Wholesome Meals Better Life, where we offer you the best ingredients for the best meals for the entire family. And with that, we'll see you again next time.
This program is rated PG. It contains themes and scenes which may not be suitable for very young audiences. Parental guidance is advised.
From news and views, issues and opportunities, we'll have in-depth conversations with decision makers to find out what they know and what they think. I'm Rico Hizon, inviting you to join the exchange because your business is our business.
One step forward, 2 steps back. Talks on charter change are front and center yet again, and the proposed amendments focus on economic provisions, including opening up land ownership to foreigners. What are the stakes and how urgent is it to introduce changes? While laws have eased foreign ownership in some sectors, what more needs to be done? And should the economic provisions be changed? What happens next?
The push for economic charter change is not new, but will it finally see the light of day as the Marcos administration wants to further open up the country to more foreign investors? Let's now have an exchange with business and commercial law professor Antonio Ligon. Sir, thank you so much for joining us. So is there a need for an economic cha-cha?
Well, as we have discussed the last time, I don't see any change in the Constitution right now. In fact, there are so many provisions in the Constitution, like the dynasty provision, which has not been acted upon for so long. And now you're going into this economic provision. And as I've said, and as the studies show also, these investors are not requiring the change in the Constitution. They're more for ease of doing business, transparency, and of course, good governance. And the economic provision entails land ownership, 100% foreign-owned. But we have already made some amendments with regard to the Foreign Investment Act. And this need not change the Constitution.
So, you're saying then that this economic cha-cha, if it does materialize, will not really benefit the ordinary Filipino people and be a threat to Filipino businesses?
I don't see any threat to the businesses. I don't see any also drastic improvement on the lives of the Filipino people. What we have to improve is, of course, our way of governance. And as a practicing lawyer, we can see that even domestic businessmen or local businessmen, they have a hard time opening up a business because there's so many red tape.
Mhm. And of course, when President Marcos talked about potentially economic provisions in charter change, he established boundaries on which sectors should not be opened up to foreign investors like land. So does this allay fears of those against economic chacha?
That is a good and a positive statement when you say you will not touch the ownership of lands, because studies shown that there is no direct correlation between 100% land ownership and investor coming in.
And you know what, Mr. Ligon, this change in the Constitution has been talked about administration after administration to regulate economic sectors that can be opened up to foreign investors. But why hasn't it really succeeded?
Well, because of the process. You know, there is a three-way procedure to amend the Constitution. Now, what they're doing right now is through people's initiative. But the question is that the real people initiative, that the people clamoring for these changes. What is happening is the people are being used, the numbers are being used to say that, hey, we want this change in the Constitution. And as we said, the first question there is, do the people really understand what is to be changed?
But do really people understand? Do our kababayans really understand what economic provisions are? Or as simple as, do they really understand what's inside the Constitution?
I told you, those in college will answer no to that, no? Because you really have to discuss it well. And when you go down to the people, you have to discuss this provision in the vernacular, and you have to explain it to them before they can make a intelligent decision on the matter.
I mean, the Public Service Act, which is basically what is being honed in by senators, if they indeed will study the economic provisions, has already been amended by the previous administration. So what is there still to change?
And not only that, in the manufacturing sector, you are allowed 100% foreign ownership. Now, I don't know if that economic provision will also include the ownership in schools, no? Because there are some school of thought that they would say 100% ownership in running the educational institution. Of course, even students would say no, because otherwise you will really change the parameters of our educational system. So,
but if you were part of this charter change group, and economic provisions is just what will be focused on, what would you change?
Well, I would change the, we will implement the improvement or the ease of doing business. No? And of course, instead of having the different structure or unit of government to have their own requirements, let's have one-stop shop, one requirement for all. And that will include already what is the suggestion of the barangay, the municipality, the cities, the provinces, and the like. So you don't have this procedure wherein you go to the barangay for the clearance, you go to the municipality, and then, of course, the national government's requirement. Now, they will say there is this one-stop shop and the anti-red tape. Then we have to streamline and we have to really see that in action.
But that has always been a discussion for many decades. Anti-red tape, ease of doing business. Why are we not succeeding, Attorney Ligon?
It's more of the political will also. And while it's just like those invitation to investors, no? When you go and showcase the Philippines, many will pledge. But once they experience, let's say, because when they pledge, it's not necessarily mean that they will invest in the Philippines. It's just a pledge. But let's say when they engage local let's say lawyers or accountants to do these things, they will realize that it's not that easy.
So, Attorney, what is your prognosis right now? Because there's a lot of noise among lawmakers, no, among politicians. The Senate is not for the People's Initiative, while the lower house is. And then, of course, the lower house wants these economic provisions in place before the State of the Nation address of the president. What is your outlook? Well, will it happen in 2024?
Because here in our country, everything is political. And I'm not a political analyst or an expert on that matter. But I would say this, no? As long as the two houses will support the president's declaration that we have to change the economic provision because we want to be up at par with world standard.
More liberalized.
Yeah, more liberalized. And that has to be clarified also. I think it's doable because, as I've said, the politics will come into play. The lower house will have to agree with the Senate's suggestion that instead of the people's initiative, let's have a suggestion wherein the two houses will suggest and vote for the changes.
And on a scale of 1 to 10, 1, this economic provision charter change will fail, 10, it will succeed. Where are you?
I am, while I'm always optimistic about things with this charter change, I'm on probably between 5 and 6.
Neutral. Neither here nor there. We still do not know what is likely to materialize. Thank you so much for this economic cha-cha exchange, business and commercial law professor Antonio Ligon.
Thank you so much.
Here now are the week's top business stories. Finance Secretary Ralph Recto won't raise taxes this year, citing high prices. His predecessor, Ben Jokno, proposed increasing taxes for junk food and sweetened beverages. The Bangko Sentral says it is unlikely to cut the cost of borrowing in next month's Monetary Board meeting. And the U.S. economy grew much faster than expected last year to 2.5%. And straight ahead on the exchange, where your business is our business. We get the insights of a constitutional law expert on this latest push to amend economic provisions in the Constitution. Edwin Lacerda joins us next. And our foreign chambers among those who want economic charter change. We have an exchange with the American Chamber of Commerce right here on CNN Philippines. News you can use. News you can trust. Glad you're staying with us right here on the exchange, where your business is our business. I'm Rico Hizon. Well, many see charter change as a solution to the country's economic shortcomings, despite existing liberalization laws. Let's now have an exchange with constitutionalist Edwin Lacerda. Edwin, thank you so much for joining us. Do we really need changes in the Constitution in terms of the economic provisions?
Honestly, I don't think we need to, because under this administration, under previous administrations, we have really liberalized many of the economic activities that were deemed outside of foreign intervention. At least we open it up. And in fact, the recent example, the Public Service Act, really just opened up a number of industries to foreign businesses. So it's not a cure-all. If everybody expects that the economic provisions, when amended, will cure the difficulties in whatever difficulties that they perceive, I don't think so. We can cure it by way of legislation.
All right, it's not only the Public Services Act, Edwin, that has been amended. You also have the Foreign Investment Act and the Trade Liberalization Act. But it seems like despite the amendments, despite opening up more sectors to foreign investors, foreign direct investments has shown the numbers that we're still at the bottom of the heap in Southeast Asia.
Which goes to show that perhaps it's not the Constitution that needs to be amended, but certain policies. For instance, like we were very clear during our time, during the term of former President Aquino, Benigno Aquino, there were only two principles that we were guided. The first one is the predictability of rules. You don't change horses mid-season. Once someone invests, the expectation is the same rules that made propel them to invest will be the same rules that will govern the entire investment period. The other thing is a level playing field. And these are the core principles that President Aquino really insisted. And not to say that there were no discussions during our time. There were no overt activity politically to amend the Constitution, but there were certainly discussions also within the cabinet on whether do we need to amend the provisions of the Constitution. And the proof that we were doing so well, in fact, in our time, it reached 7%. GDP reached 7%, which shows proof that you don't have to amend the Constitution.
7% GDP, what about foreign direct investments? Because from 2022 to 2023, under the Marcos administration, despite all of these foreign trips and tens of billions of dollars in pledges, foreign direct investment numbers still decline.
Because also another principle in governance where foreign investors looked at is what we call good transparency and good governance.
And the ease of doing business.
And the ease of doing business.
Of course, during the Aquino administration, there was also a push for private-public partnership, which is, of course, now being implemented as well by this administration. But give us an example, Edwin. Year on year, during the 6-year term of President Noynoy Aquino, what was the rise in terms of foreign direct investments compared to our neighbors?
Well, I don't have the figures then, but all I know is that we were after I think the second year of our administration, when the world saw that President Aquino was dead serious about promoting transparency and good governance, foreign investments came in. And also the other thing is our GDP went straight up. There were a number of policies internally also. One, we tried to shorten the capture of the budget within this whole. If you remember the whole idea of the disbursement acceleration program, that was a very controversial issue. But the whole idea is, instead of declaring savings at the year end, if there's any project midstream which is not working, let's just declare them as savings. And we were able to use the budget there, the money designed for another project that wasn't working, to good use. But then the Supreme Court said that it was unconstitutional, not criminal, but unconstitutional.
From your current reading of the landscape for charter change, particularly economic provisions, do you think it will now materialize with these intramurals and this fight between the Senate and the lower house? Because before the senators signed the manifesto against the push for a People's Initiative, Senate President Mig Zubiri filed a resolution proposing amendments to the charter's economic provisions.
The push being done by the House is strictly political. Because although everyone starts with we need to amend the economic provisions, that's a good start. I mean, in a way people will not get angry about it.
So it's just being used as a front?
It has always been used as a front. In any push to amend the Constitution, they've always started with, let's amend the economic provisions of the country because they say it's outdated. But look, during the time of President Aquino, even during the time of President Duterte, our numbers rose up. And during this time also, you can see that why do you need to amend the Constitution if our numbers are going up? Because there are certain principles that they are observing, ease of doing business, liberalization, transparency, and good governance, can add up it can improve the numbers can improve foreign direct investment even without amending the Constitution.
In your point of view, are we seeing these three important factors playing out for investors to come into the country? Ease of doing business, transparency, and good governance.
The most difficult, I think, is the ease of doing business. But there have been significant improvements already. But that's the hard part because your deal in government is not a monolithic whole. You have to deal with the national government. You have to deal with the local government. So, for instance, just to give an example of the permitting process for the telcos, the towers, it used to be I got a briefing somewhere around more than 60 permits. Now it has been reduced to 4.
And of course, another major red flag in doing business in the Philippines is corruption.
That's a big problem. And you know,
it hasn't been resolved.
You know, we have grown so insensitive to that. Whenever you talk about government, the first thing that they see, the people would say, any government is the same, they're all corrupt. The mindset of Filipinos is that we have a corrupt government, but we can prove that wrong by making sure that we walk the talk. We also joined during our time the Open Government Partnership, which was started by President Barack Obama. And we really practice open government, meaning transparency and accountability. We are still a member of Open Government Partnership, but those are principles that we can use. And to the credit of President Marcos, there's really attempts to really be transparent, but that's a big problem because of the different chambers of branches of government.
And of course, previous administrations, there have been talk, a lot of moves to change the Constitution. Do you think that this administration will succeed in 2024?
There's a novel attempt right now, doing the People's Initiative. However, the People's Initiative touched on a very seemingly harmless provision, which is changing the voting structure from jointly and separately. In the eyes of the many, that's very harmless. But when you go to the brass tacks, when you go it will go up to the Supreme Court because obviously the Senate and the House will not agree. On that front, the House proponents will face an obstacle before the Supreme Court. And after assuming that you got that passed, you change the Constitution, what now then are the fundamental provisions that you wanted amended? We are not there yet. We are not there yet. So once they lay down the provisions that they want to amend, political, economic, then there's another thing, referendum.
I'll put you in the spot. Yes or no, we're going to see charter change in 2024?
In terms of final?
Yes, final.
No.
No. Thank you so much, Edwin, for this constitutional law exchange. Constitutionalist Edwin Lacerda joining us on the exchange. And straight ahead on the exchange, where your business is our business, how would foreign chambers take action if economic charter change pushes through? The American Chamber of Commerce in the Philippines joins us next here on CNN Philippines. News you can use, news you can trust. Glad you're staying with us right here on The Exchange, where your business is our business. I'm Rico Hizon. Foreign chambers have long been pushing for economic charter change to open up more sectors to foreign investors and businesses. Let's now have an exchange with the Executive Director of the American Chamber of Commerce, Eb Hinchcliffe. Eb, great to have you with us. What is the Chamber's stand on the proposed economic charter change?
Oh, for the longest of time now, Rico, we've been absolutely adamant that we need to remove all foreign investment restrictions and the economic restrictions in the Constitution. That's been our long-term stand. if there's something that for the national defense or some of the national interest, that can always be done by a law or an executive order. You don't want it in your Constitution.
And what do you think should the Marcos administration and his colleagues do regarding charter change if you're saying that existing laws can be amended? Because we've already seen amendments in the Public Service Act, the Retail Liberalization Act, and the Foreign Investments Act.
Yeah, I was just saying that they do not belong in the Constitution. We need to take them out and then pass laws accordingly. I mean, there's things still in the Constitution like mass media, like long-term lease can be only 25 years. There's things in advertising. You got education. Why do those belong in the Constitution? They should belong, out of the Constitution and allow foreign investment into those, unless it's something in the national interest or security or those type of things. And those then can be done. But even now, there's still something in there about public service, even though the Public Service Act was amended.
So when President Marcos...
It's time to get them all, it's time to get them all out.
Time to get them all out. So when President Marcos Jr. and his fellow lawmakers made trips to the U.S. and invited American investors, did they make demands that before they invest, changes have to be made in the Charter's economic provisions?
No, I don't think that was the case at all. What did happen during the Trans-Pacific Partnership negotiations, you recall, there were certain provisions in TPP that required a country to allow reciprocity or the land ownership and those type of issues. But I think there's no demands on it. I'm not sure that America is aware that the Philippines is the American business community. I don't know the companies here got back to their corporations and said there's a move underway to amend the Constitution in the Philippines to allow more foreign ownership. But I would like to say that what those visits did is mark your calendar on March 11 and 12. We got the business trade mission that President Biden and President Marcos discussed during that visit. That's now coming to reality, and we're expecting 15 to 20 chief executive officers, the top of the top, to be visiting Manila in that time period and continue to be our turn to showcase. And I'm sure during that time, it'll be accompanied by Commerce Secretary Gina Raimondo. And I'm sure during that time, the conversation will be on Cha-Cha.
Right. And these top CEOs who will be visiting the country, are they only here to explore, or are they really expressing their desire to invest in the Philippines?
I don't think they'd be coming with the Secretary of Commerce would not ask them just to do a junket. I think they're really serious about coming and having a look. Many of them will be here already. They've been in the Philippines for 50 years. Their decision would be whether they want to continue to expand or not. But there will be a bunch of several of them that will be coming over maybe to have the first look and say, hey, is this a good place to do investment in or not?
But Edwin Lacerda, a constitutionalist who we spoke with earlier, says that we don't really need to change the Constitution. What we just need to do is to improve the ease of doing business. What we also need to do is more transparency, good governance, and less corruption.
He's half right and half wrong. We do need to amend the Constitution. We need to open it up. But he's absolutely right. When American companies are looking at, as you know, one of the first things, if not the first thing to look at, is the corruption. And secondly, would probably be red tape.
And when you talk to foreign investors and market strategists, they keep on scratching their heads. I mean, we're such an open economy, but the Philippines has one of the lowest foreign direct investment numbers in the region. FDIs in the country fell by almost 18% in 2023. What is really preventing businesses from entering the country, Eb?
I think it's what we just talked about. It's the first thing they look at is, of course, the ease of doing business. How easy is it to get a business license? Once you do get that business license, how easy is it to renew? A lot of some ones that are restricted is, again, land ownership. I'm not saying that AmCham is in favor of land ownership, but when you can only lease a property for 25 years and there's a limit to the size of it, that's probably a good limitation. A good example of Rico is if you look at the recent Justice Department ruling about 100% foreign ownership in renewable energy. there for about 2 to 3 weeks, maybe more than, my phone rang off the hook. You're now seeing offshore wind power form an association here. There's a tremendous, not just interest, but already growing investment in that sector just by the lifting. Who would want to invest $500 million or more into something they could only own 60% of? And that goes the same thing with education. We have so many, this is the 21st century. We need to move forward. We need to, the Constitution 1987, it was really good for its time. But now that if you look at the things going on in the modern world, I mean, education, media, advertising, why are there restrictions on that?
So, Eb, what is your prognosis and what is your outlook? Are we going to see economic provisions, charter change in 2024?
I don't have a glass ball. We hope so. We definitely hope so. It's always the deal about non-economic provisions that get in the way.
Yeah.
And it just takes one or two people to say, wait a minute, you're doing this so you can really open it up to extend the terms of the president. And when that happens, there goes the economic provisions. So we're hoping this time it will not happen, that we can get this thing done over the finish line.
Thank you so much for this Foreign Chamber Exchange, American Chamber of Commerce of the Philippines Executive Director, Eb Hinchcliffe. And before we go, here are words from the founding fathers of the United States, Alexander Hamilton, on the Constitution. A sacred respect for the constitutional law is the vital principle, the sustaining energy of a free government. And this is the exchange. We make sense of the facts and the figures and the ups and downs of the business cycle, because your business is our business. Thank you so much for watching The Exchange. I'm Rico Hizon for CNN Philippines. News you can use. News you can trust.
This program is rated PG. It contains themes and scenes which may not be suitable for very young audiences. Parental guidance is advised.
A deadlock on charter change as the Senate decides to suspend discussions because of the continuing People's Initiative supported by leaders at the House of Representatives. After agreeing to President Marcos's request for the Senate to lead the review of the 1987 Constitution, senators in a manifesto now unanimously thumbed down the People's Initiative, which they say is a brazen attempt to violate the Constitution and undermine the country's democracy. But House Speaker Martin Romualdez says it is a direct expression of the people's will, while denouncing allegations of bribery in persuading citizens to sign the petition. President Marcos gives way to the Commission on Elections to do its job in validating signatures. Good evening. I'm Pio Ontiveros. Welcome to your weekly political appointment fix, Politics as Usual. Our guests for tonight, former House Speaker and now Davao del Norte Representative Pantaleon Bebot Alvarez, Senator J.V. Ejercito, and the Chairman of the Commission on Elections, George Garcia. For this first part of the show, we're going to speak first to Congressman Bebot Alvarez. Kong Bebot, good evening po sa inyo. Thank you very much for being with us tonight. Let's begin with this. You wanted federalism during the administration of former President Rodrigo Duterte, but not now. Are you saying you don't agree with the People's Initiative and you don't approve either of the Senate taking the lead in discussing amendments as shown in this resolution of both houses, number 6? Rufus Rodriguez is saying now that they can get the job done before the Holy Week break. You're saying all three actions should not proceed.
Hi, Pia. Good evening, and good evening to Chairman George Garcia as well as Senator J.V. Ejercito. That is true, Pia. Talagang hindi ako sakayon na buksan yung amendment ng ating saligang batas ngayon. Dahil iba po yung sitwasyon nung time ni former President Rodrigo Duterte. Kung maalala po natin, bumuo pa siya ng Constitutional Commission na pinamumunuan ni former Chief Justice Renato Puno. At yung mga membro nito ay lahat mapagkakatiwalaan. Nandoon si Attorney Ruben Canoy ng Cagayan de Oro, nandoon si Dean July Tihangki, nandoon si Undersecretary Jonathan Malaya, at nandoon din si Professor Ed Tayaw. Maganda ang nangyari noon. Yung trabaho ng Constitutional Commission shared with the Senate as well as the House of Representatives. Pinapa-comment nila kung anong dapat na ayusin doon sa trabaho nila.
Kong Bebot, so you are saying, Kong Bebot, you do not agree categorically. You don't agree with People's Initiative, yes or no? No.
No.
No. Okay. The Senate taking the lead and the House going in step because of dati nga meron dapat resolution for both houses. Hindi dapat din yon. You're saying that?
Yeah.
So no way. In other words, no way, no matter what.
Mahirap yun, ang nangyari kasi, pag halimbawa, pumayag yung Senado na mag-convene yung Congress into a Constituent Assembly upang talakayin yung amendment ng ating saligang batas. Ngayon, sinasabi nila, limited lang daw sa mga economic. Provisions. Mahirap pong gawin yan. Hindi tayo pwede magtiwala dyan. Dahil as a lawyer, natin, na sa oras na mabuksan yan, mag-convene ang Congress into a Constituent Assembly, then lahat pwede nang buksan yan.
Okay. Kong Bebot, kanina sabi nyo, lahat mapagkakatiwalaan, describing the members of the CONCOM noong panahon ni President Duterte. Ngayon, you're saying walang mapagkakatiwalaan. Sino, can you please specify, sino yung hindi mapagkakatiwalaan? Who are you referring to?
Dito, Pia, alam naman natin lahat, na talagang sumusulong nito yung Speaker of the House of Representatives. Itong si Martin Romualdez.
Okay, so you are saying that siya ang nagsusulong ng People's Initiative, nitong agreement, although there was that agreement between President Marcos had called that meeting, Senate President Mig Zubiri was there, Speaker Martin Romualdez was there. You're saying si Martin Romualdez ang hindi mo pwedeng mapagkatiwalaan. What about President Marcos and Senate President Zubiri?
Ganito kasi yan. Kailangan transparent. Ilatag nila, anong dapat baguhin natin? Hayaan mo yung Senado, yung House of Representatives, magbigay ng kanilang komentaryo doon sa mga provisions na gusto nilang palitan.
Pero hindi ba nila sinabi yun doon sa resolution for both houses nung diniscuss po yun? Economic provisions related to only 3 areas?
Wala akong nabasa na ganun. Wala akong nabasa.
Okay. So, why don't you trust Martin Romualdez? What are you afraid of when it comes to Martin Romualdez?
May sarili siyang ambisyon. Gustong maging Pangulo ng Pilipinas. Kaya lang, palagay ko na-realize niya na kahit sa senatorial survey, hindi man siya pumapasok doon sa top 10, kulela pa nga eh. Alam mo, Pia, pag tumakbo kang presidente ng Pilipinas, kinakailangan using yung karisma mo. Pero ito, parang ang karisma nito, parang Supreme Court.
Parang justice ng Supreme Court, ganon. With all due respect to the justices of the Supreme Court.
Parang Supreme Court, hindi justice ng Supreme Court.
Okay.
Parang Supreme Court as an institution.
Okay.
Bakit? Walang appeal.
Okay. So ayaw nyo po ng charter change because you think that Martin Romualdez wants to run for and be president.
Gusto niya kasi, palagay ko, baguhin talaga yan. Yung form of government, mababago dyan. Ngayon, pag yung Senado pumayag dito sa kagustuhan nila na mag-convene into a Constituent Assembly, Sabihin nila, o sige, economic provisions lang. Pero sino? Kaya ba nilang mag-object pagdating ng panahon?
Yeah.
Sabihin ng House of Representatives, hindi, ito yung gusto naming amendments.
Kong Bebot, when you say baka magbago ang form of government, what are you referring to? From presidential to parliamentary? Is that what you mean?
Pwede mangyari yun. Oo, pwede mangyari.
But that is exactly
Tapos,
also what you wanted
magiging
before,
head-
hindi po ba? Hindi po ba yun ang
magiging
gusto
head
niyo?
ng government, hindi na presidente, no? Prime Minister. At alam natin lahat yung Prime Minister ay pinipili among the members of the Parliament.
Okay. Are you afraid of term extensions na baka masingit po iyon?
Yung term extension, pwedeng isingit yan. Ngayon, tanong ko, sinong ayaw ng term extension? Kung ako, selfish yung interest ko, talagang sasama ako dyan. Dahil last term ko ngayon as a congressman.
Okay.
Natural. Kung meron term extension, ako ang magbe-benefit noon. Pero hindi dahil hindi ko makonsensya na lukuhin natin yung taong bayan.
Kong Bebot, what will you do about the People's Initiative? Dahil tuloy-tuloy lang po yun eh. Nagsasubmit po sila ng mga signatures sa mga local COMELEC offices. And Chairman George Garcia is talking about a timeline and what he says is COMELEC's ministerial duty once they receive these signatures.
Alam mo, Pia, humaga ako kay Chairman George Garcia, no? Doon sa pronouncement niya, very categorical, na pag itong signatures na to gathered in exchange of money, especially from the government, those signatures may be voided. Yun, nagbibigay ng encouragement sa sambayanan na hindi pa walang pag-asa yung proseso. Kasi pwede mo pang questionin sa COMELEC at questionin din sa kahit saan korte sa ating bansa.
Okay, I have to go to a break and say goodbye to you, Kong Bebot. But before that, very briefly, a short question and a very brief answer from you. If you are against Martin Romualdez, are you going to be, if Sara Duterte runs for president in 2028, are you going to campaign for her?
Yes, definitely.
Congressman Bebot Alvarez, I'll speak to you again soon, hopefully. Maraming salamat po sa inyo. We'll be back after a quick break. Stay tuned.
Amid the darkness, look on the bright side. More than 100,000 students went dirty for good in the third year of Breeze Eco Project.
Eco Project, in partnership with the Knowledge Channel Foundation, aims to educate students about environmental issues and encourage them to take action. In our 2021 launch during the pandemic, we engaged 8,000 student change makers through online educational activities. In our third year, gusto namin ituloy ang laban para sa kalikasan.
A total of 133,356 students from 59 schools joined Breeze Eco Project Year 3, nearly 4 times bigger than the number of youth tapped in 2022. The Breeze Eco Project is a campaign to educate students about environmental issues and empower them to take action. As part of the detergent brand Breeze's mission, the project partnered with different cities, including Marikina, Taguig in Pateros, and Quezon City. It consisted of 3 phases: educate, engage, and empower. The Breeze Eco Project was launched during the Brigada opening program with a tie-up with a multi-purpose cleaner brand, Domex. This initiative by Unilever hopes to change the way some of the world's most well-known cleaning and laundry products are created, marketed, manufactured, and packaged.
After all the fun and engaging activities to protect the environment, they can use Breeze Powder with its EcoClean technology, as it contains naturally derived stain removers and biodegradable ingredients, which can remove tough stains and at the same time help the environment. Kaya sige sa mancha with Breeze.
Looking forward to 2024, Breeze will continue to embrace its tough on stains, kinder to the environment purpose for the benefit of the next generation. Sam Sidwani, CNN Philippines.
Welcome back. This is Politics as Usual. Our next guest in this segment of the show, Senator J.B. Ejercito. Senator J.B., thank you very much for being with us tonight. Well, let's begin with this. What do you think happened? The Senate was to take the lead in charter change with this resolution of both houses, and then the House will work was supposed to work with you, and that is at least what we were told, no? Na nagka-meeting, andyan si Presidente, si Senate President, si Speaker, yan ang napagkasunduan. Don't tell us the official line. Tell us the story behind the scenes. In other words, like as young people say nowadays, spill.
Well, Pia, when that meeting took place before the Van de Honor in Malacanang, because there was already disagreement between both houses, no? Because the House of Representatives wanted People's Initiative, and we in the Senate, Pia, we are not against the amendment to the Constitution, because my own position is that the Constitution was written 40 years ago, and there's really need to amend certain provisions to make it adapt. For us to be able to adapt to the changing times. But so to avert this constitutional crisis, possible constitutional crisis, the President called both leaders of both houses in Malacanang. There was argument at first, but in the end, there was an agreement that there will be a resolution of both houses. The Senate will draft the bill on the constitutional amendments on economic provisions, which was done already by Senate President Miguel Zubiri, and the House will just adopt it right after. So that was the agreement. But what really happened was, even though we, the Senate, our leader, SP Miguel Zubiri, complied, the People's Initiative continued on, and until now, as we speak, we received information that the signature campaign is still ongoing, and what our apprehension is that if it's a genuine People's Initiative, then there's no problem with that. But as you can see, Pia, it's in exchange, they're gathering signatures in exchange for AIX, TUPAD, and other assistance from government. So it's not really a People's Initiative, and if I may borrow the words of my colleague Senator Bato de la Rosa, it's a politician's initiative, Pia.
A different kind of PI, huh? Okay. Itong yung RBH, what you had in mind was not a constituent assembly, but like you said, no? So the Senate comes up with amendments, parang mag-agree na lang ang House, kaya nga resolution lang. So hindi CONAS talaga. But at the same time, yung People's Initiative kasi, what you're doing is you're calling out, you're denouncing PIRMA for this People's Initiative that they're doing. Pero ang sinasabi nila ngayon, hinahad lang daw ninyo ang people's will, that you are stopping, you are blocking the people's will. What do you say to that?
Well, as I mentioned, if it's really a genuine people's initiative, it's people's will, then we have no problem with that. No, that's whatever. We have to give, of course, the people, the Philippines, the country, they have the final say. But again, as I mentioned earlier, it comes with the strings attached. So they are scared. For poor people, ordinary people, they will sign anything for the ayuda, for the assistance from government, and that's what we are against. And also, it's also specific in that PIRMA that the Constituent Assembly will convene and as one, and will be voting as one jointly. And Pia, that's why in our democratic constitution we are really bicameral system in nature, because to provide that checks and balances. Because Pia, I was also a member of House of Representatives, and my constituent is my district. Now, the Senate is elected nationally, and our mandate was given by the Filipino people. So our perspective, likewise, is national in nature. So convene as one. It will disrupt the system that was written by the framers of our constitution, to have a bicameral system so that there will always be the checks and balances. One will provide for the parochial concern, for the districts, and one also for the national,
Yes. Okay.
interest.
Sen JV, are you saying that itong People's Initiative is fake and that you don't trust Pirma, but you trust yourselves? Is that what you're saying?
No, yeah, because as I mentioned, there's information that we have received, numerous already have reported, that in exchange for, as I mentioned, that in exchange for the assistance and other things that people can get from government is the signature.
Yes, I heard you say that earlier po, Sen. So what I'm asking is, so that means you don't trust Pirma because dahil like you said, maraming mga reports na merong kapalit. So you don't trust them, but you trust yourselves.
Well, just want to also be clear, that we are not fighting for our survival. No, we are fighting for the constitution, the government, because once we open, if indeed if they just followed what was agreed upon, with talagang economic provisions lang, as agreed upon, then they would have stopped already the People's Initiative. So that means the intention is really to open everything, specifically the political provisions, and with the end in view of changing the form of government. Ang tanong ko lang, Pia, is the Filipino people ready to have a form of government that would take away their rights to choose their leader, especially their president or the leader of their land, which is very sacred.
No direct voting. Kumbaga, no one voter, one vote, one voter. But Sen JV, just one last question. I'm running out of time, but this is really interesting to me. No, why a statement from the Senate? Although of course it's very interesting because all 24 of you, very rarely will you get your two opposition senators to join you guys, in one statement. Pero statement, bakit statement? Bakit hindi resolution or, something? Why? I'm just curious.
Well, it's not only the Senate as an institution which is under threat. We feel that our democratic institution is under threat, with this move with where the People's Initiative. That's why, as you mentioned, Pia, majority and the minority, all 24 senators are in unison, crossing party lines, signing this resolution. So we are together because this does not anymore concern the survival of the institution, but it's really the threat to democratic process.
Sen JV, just more clarification on this. It's a statement that you signed, not a resolution. Why a statement? Why not a resolution?
Well, it's a message that we want to send as a body, that all of us will be crossing party lines as mentioned, because we will not allow our democratic system, our institution, to be to be trampled upon.
Yeah.
It's not really our survival.
Wouldn't the message have been stronger kung Senate resolution ang napirmahan ninyo?
Well, it's a call of the Senate President and the leadership, so we just have to support it. And again, it's very rare, as you mentioned, Pia, that the minority and the majority and everyone, all senators, signed this manifesto.
Okay, and you haven't heard from Malacanang President Marcos on what's going to happen next, because sinantabi nyo na itong RHB, you're not going to work on this habang tuloy-tuloy ang pirma. Wala pa kayong balita from Malacanang? Nothing?
Actually, Pia, just to clarify, the RBH, the bill that was filed by the Senate President, the amendment on economic provisions, is already scheduled, supposedly. But what we really are lamenting is that, the House did not comply because, as I mentioned, the signature campaign is still continuing as we speak.
All right. Maraming salamat po sa inyo, Senator JV Ejercito. Thank you, sir, for joining us. More from our one last remaining guest, COMELEC Chairman George Garcia, when we return. This is Politics as Usual. You're still on Politics as usual. Our third and final guest for tonight, COMELEC Chairman George Garcia. Chairman Garcia, maraming salamat for joining us. Thank you for being with us tonight. Let's begin with this. Can you just outline for us very quickly, and I'm really glad because you talk so fast, but very clear, kwetos claros talaga. Ano po yung ministerial duty ng COMELEC when it comes to the signatures that are being submitted to your local offices?
Thank you very much, Ma'am Pia. Una po yung pag-receive ng mga signatures. We cannot refuse, we cannot decline because under the rules, yung rules na binabanggit ko po, COMELEC Resolution 10650, that we have no choice but to receive these signatures. Again, we would like to clarify that when we receive the signatures, these are mere scrap of papers in the meantime. Wala po itong gamit, wala po itong value whatsoever. We will just receive this just like an ordinary letter or communication coming from anybody that would like to write something to the Commission on Election. So, no choice po kami but to receive these signatures. This will have value, Ma'am Pia, if these signature forms will be used later on in a petition to be filed before the COMELEC. So, until and unless a petition is filed, we will just receive this signature forms and we cannot decline.
Okay, receiving at this point and only when there is a petition filed, that is when you can start verifying the signatures. Yun po ba, sir? Is that the process?
Yes, ma'am. Once a petition is filed before the COMELEC, we will still first determine whether the petition is sufficient in form and substance. Meaning, we will definitely have a checklist, and based on our checklist, we'll look into the petition. We'll look into whether in substance, whether the provision of the Constitution that they wanted to change or amend is very clear. And at the same time, titingnan din po namin, Ma'am Pia, talaga bang alam ng mga mamamayan yung kanilang pinirmahan? We will inquire into that because that should be, we should be satisfied as to the substance, as to whether indeed when the people signed the forms, they really understood the implication of this signing the document. And then only after that, if in case the COMELEC is satisfied that the petition is sufficient in form and substance, then and only then can we order our local COMELEC to verify the signatures that are in their possession or in our local offices.
Can anyone at this time, anybody at this time, stop COMELEC from doing its job?
Yes, ma'am, definitely. We are using, and although I'm not supposed to tell, but I have been telling this in all my interviews, we have been using a guidelines which was promulgated in accordance with Republic Act 6735. Some are saying that there is no law that will allow people's initiative. Some are saying that even the Supreme Court in the case of Santiago versus COMELEC had said that 6735 is not the law to amend the Constitution. But however, there is now a conflicting interpretation as regards a subsequent decision of the Supreme Court in the case of Lambino versus COMELEC. That, Ma'am Pia, is a legal issue. And at the same time, they can likewise question the validity, the due execution, and whether our resolution guiding us in this people's initiative is right or wrong. Somebody can go to a higher court so that they can prevent the COMELEC from actually doing what we are presently doing, though it is a ministerial duty only.
Okay, so anybody can go to the Supreme Court at this point, and if the High Court will say, mag-TRO ang High Court, magsabi na, teka muna, wag muna kayong gagalaw, hindi na kayo gagalaw. That's the end of it, kumbaga. That is the end of pirma. Is that what's going to happen?
Yes, definitely we will abide and follow whatever the Supreme Court will tell us. If the Supreme Court say, wag nang tatanggap, mula ngayon, we will not receive anymore any signature. At this point, we have 192 districts more or less that, based on our data, more or less 192 districts na po yung nag-file ng mga signatures sa aming mga local offices and almost 1,032 municipalities and cities. Again, we have 253 legislative districts in the entire country.
142 out of 253 districts, and you need 3% of total voters of every legislative district. You have 1,032 cities and municipalities. You need 12% of total voter count. But I just wanted to go back to yung sinasabi ninyo kanina, yung Supreme Court, no? Halimbawa, sabihin ng TRO, ng Supreme Court, kung may mag-file, tapos mag-TRO sila, at the very least, they can delay this, and at the very most, they can stop this completely in its tracks. Ganun po ba?
Yes, ma'am. When the Supreme Court issue a TRO, take note, and this is for the information of everybody, it's unlimited. There's no period on the TRO of the Supreme Court, unless the Supreme Court will by itself will say our TRO will last only for this period. But without such a statement, the TRO of the Supreme Court is unlimited until the decision is made or is promulgated as regards to the merits of the case. Now, as regards to the merits of the case, the Supreme Court can say, well, the petition is right. There is grave abuse of discretion amounting to lack or excess of jurisdiction on the part of the Commission on Election when it promulgated the resolution. At the same time, there's really no law, and therefore, all people's initiative should put into arrest at this point because there is no law. The Supreme Court can do that. That is what we are saying. At this point, we cannot do anything. There is 6735. There is COMELEC Resolution 10650. The COMELEC is duty-bound to observe and implement the law as well as our COMELEC resolution.
Okay. Chairman Garcia, I have 1 minute left, actually 30 seconds left. No? And my last question, very brief and hopefully a very brief answer from you also. Earlier today, you were quoted as saying na, in so many words, na if the timeline is followed, ang estimate po ninyo is baka ang plebiscite dito would be sometime 2026, no? Because nga may elections in 2025 and then basta we have several considerations. So baka 2026. But if the Supreme Court stops this even momentarily, this could go on until 2027 or 2028. By that time, we have national elections or even beyond.
O baka Ma'am Pia, tapos ng term ko, wala pang plebiscito whatsoever. Simply because, again, the TRO of the Supreme Court in that case is unlimited.
Okay, and your term ends when? Please remind us.
2029, Ma'am Pia.
2029. COMELEC Chairman George Garcia, sir, thank you very much for being with us tonight. Maraming salamat po sa inyo.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Pia. Maraming salamat din po.
We've been told before, don't talk politics at the dinner table or the family reunion or in Viber groups and risk warfare, digital or otherwise. But we can talk about it here at this table on this show, your weekly political appointment fix, politics as usual. I'm Pia Ontiveros. See you back here next Wednesday, 8 p.m. Sports Desk with Andre Felix is next.
This program is rated PG. It contains themes and scenes which may not be suitable for very young audiences. Parental guidance is advised.
Kung may pupuntahan o may ipapadala, madalas ay sa digital map tayo umaasa. Pero sa dami ba naman ng kalyeng dapat likuan, kung minsan ay hindi pa rin maiwasan na maligaw. Buti na lang ay may pangalan ang bawat kalye. Karamihan sa mga ito nakapangalan sa mga bayani, prutas, santo, kilalang personalidad at marami pang iba. Pero alam niyo ba na hindi pala basta-basta ang paglalagay o pagpapalit ng pangalan sa anumang kalsada o kalye sa Pilipinas? Ngayon sa Batas et al, pag-usapan natin ang mga batas na may kinalaman sa pagbibigay ng pangalan sa mga daan na nakikita natin sa araw-araw. Isang araw na naman na puno ng aral tungkol sa batas. Ako po si Menchu Macapagal. Para tulungan tayo sa topic natin ngayon, Narito sina Attorney Jan Almario Chan, Senior Partner ng Chan, Robles and Associates, at si Ian Christopher Alfonso mula sa National Historical Commission of the Philippines. Magandang araw sa inyo and welcome sa Batas et al.
Magandang araw, Ms. Menchu. Thank you for having us here. Magandang araw din po, Ms.
It's
Menchu.
our pleasure to have you here. But before we talk about the laws, kailan ba nagsimula na magkaroon ng street names at ano ang kahalagahan nito?
Paroon ng Espanyol na bigyan tayo ng convention
Okay.
o yung pamamaraan ng pagbibigay ng pangalan sa mga kalye. Dahil ito ay introduction ng colonization. Dahil unang panahon ang ating mga super highways, mga kalsada ay mga ilog. Kasi tayo kulturang tubig. Kaya nga tinawag na Kapampangan ng mga Kapampangan, Taga-Pampang, Tagalog, Taga-alog o ilog. So tagang nasa tabi ng tubig tayo. And then nung dumating mga Kastila, binuo nila yung mga tinatawag na mga plaza, mga poblasyon, na pinagkukonekta ng mga taga-kalye. So panahon ng Espanyol, nung natuto tayong magkaroon ng mga pangalan sa mga kalye as form of memorialization.
How interesting. Pero attorney, when we encounter different street names every day, ang iba nga rito hindi natin kilala kung sino o bakit yun ang ipinangalan sa kanila. But when it comes to naming them, ano yung mga batas na sinusunod natin dito?
Ang pinaka-superior na batas natin sa Pilipinas ay yung 1987 Constitution. So under the 1987 Constitution, Article 14, Section 15, nakalagay doon that the state shall conserve, promote, and popularize the nation's historical and cultural heritage and resources. So based on that law, nagkaroon tayo ng mga laws like the Local Government Code or Republic Act 7160, kung saan empowered and authorized yung mga provinces, highly urbanized cities, component cities, as well as the municipalities to name public streets, public properties, as long as those are within their jurisdiction. Pero aside from that, marami ring ibang mga batas pa and guidelines, katulad ng guidelines natin from the National Historical Commission of the Philippines, which provides for the rules that must be followed when, or the conventions that must be followed when the government or the local government will name streets or other public properties.
Okay, so iba't ibang instances yung ina-allow per like, is it national government? Is it Congress? Is it LGU? So we'll talk more about that. But let's talk about the National Historical Commission of the Philippines muna, in relation to the guidelines. Ano exactly yung role ng NHCP? Lalo na kung merong mga historical significance yung mga lugar.
Ang NHCP po, when it comes to public spaces, na may mga pangalan at papalitan ng pangalan, na-empower kami through a presidential decree in 1973 after former President Ferdinand Marcos abolished this Philippine Committee on Geographic Names. May mga mandates ang committee na to na dinevolve sa NHI, our former name, National Historical Institute, and then nag-evolve ito into LGU Code of 1991 na repeal yung PD. So more on consultative kami.
Okay.
We are guiding the local government units, ano yung mga conventions nga, gaya nabanggit ni attorney, on naming and renaming. Pero mas na-strengthen pa yung power namin nitong naipasang bagong batas, ito lang Agosto, yung Republic Act 11961, na kinikilala na ng gobyerno ang mga place names, not only street names, geographic names, pangalan ng barangay, ng bundok, ng ilog, as intangible cultural heritage. Pag 50 years and above na yung pangalan, hindi na pwedeng i-rename. So protected na siya ng gobyerno, ng law. Dahil ito ay mga markers ng history.
So
Kaya kami pumasok dyan.
Under any circumstances, pag lumampas na siya ng 50 years, hindi na pwedeng palitan
Yes,
yung pangalan.
opo, batay dito sa bagong batas.
Okay. So sabi kanina, kapag national road, it can be named by the president through a proclamation or by Congress, at kapag public roads naman ay through the local government units, no? So, but how do we classify yung national road from a public road? Kasi minsan, di ba, yung national road ay sakop ng isang LGU.
Yes.
So how do we differentiate which is which?
Actually, merong executive order na noon, 1987, na in-issue that authorizes the DPWH, the Department of Public Works and Highways, to classify or reclassify national roads and local roads. So they can reclassify national roads to local and vice versa. Based on this executive order, the DPWH issued a department order naman, wherein they provided for a criteria of what national roads are, which comprises primary, secondary, and tertiary roads. All of these are under the jurisdiction of the DPWH. However, meron naman mga local roads, so yun yung mga hindi included sa national roads.
Okay, so yun yung mga criteria?
For example, for national primary roads, the criteria provided by the DPWH is that the major road shall connect major cities or multiple major cities. Kunyari, sa secondary naman, the major road will be connecting cities to the primary national road. So may mga ganun criteria.
Okay, so yung mga national roads, hindi talaga pwedeng i-rename ng mga LGU.
Yes, explicitly pinagbabawal ng LGU magpangalan ng national road.
So ano lang yung pwede?
For LGUs, yung LGUs are empowered under the local government code to name streets, public thoroughfares, only within their jurisdiction.
Okay.
And for example, kunyari, provincial na government, they can't, city government, they can't rename provincial roads or ano. So specifically within their jurisdiction lang dapat.
Okay. Okay lang ba na magkapareho yung mga pangalan? Kasi like for example, I'll give you one example which I'm sure you're familiar with, JP Rizal. There's one in Makati, there's one in Marikina, there's one and so on and so forth. So that's okay?
As long as hindi siya located sa same vicinity or network of roads. Kasi di natin pwedeng pigilan ang acclamation ng public kung gusto ng bayan na to, anong barangay na to, anong probinsya nito sa Visayas, sa Luzon, sa Mindanao na mag-name after Rizal. Kasi nga dahil sa kanyang popularity at kanyang significance sa buhay ng Pilipino. So as long as hindi siya makakalito. Kasi hiwa-hiwalay naman yan mga yan eh.
Alright. Well, Langka, Malakas, JP Rizal, Kalye Looban at Samar Street ay ilan lamang sa libo-libong pangalan ng kalye sa Pilipinas. Pero ano nga ba ang criteria sa pagpili naman ng pangalan alinsunod sa batas? Pag-usapan natin yan sa pagbabalik ng Batas et al. Kayo ay nanonood ng CNN Philippines.
Loves na loves sa linamnam.
Maximum Direk, yan mo na si ate. Kasi sa ₱1 lang, makakalaro ka na sa Bingo Plus.
May mga premyong pwede mapanalunan. Maglaro sa Bingo Plus app para tuloy-tuloy ang premyo at saya.
Malay mo, mapanulunan mo pa ang jackpot prize sa first online live streaming bingo sa Pinas. Pag panalo sa bingo,
plus sa saya.
Ang legit Dapper Cats at ang pambansang Liga ng Bayan gagawing mas masaya, mas maaksyon, at mas exciting ang weekends. Dahil ang Eat Bulaga at PBA Season 48 Commissioner's Cup mapapanood na rin sa CNN Philippines tuwing Sabado at Linggo. It's true! Talagang angat ang weekend dito!
Kayo ay nanonood pa rin ng Batas et al. Dito sa CNN Philippines. Kasama pa rin natin si Attorney Jan Almario Chan, Senior Partner ng Chan Robles and Associates. At si Ian Christopher Alfonso mula sa National Historical Commission of the Philippines para pag-usapan ang ilan sa mahalagang guidelines sa pagbibigay pangalan sa mga kalsada at kalye sa ating komunidad. So, Attorney, under the law, no, napakaraming criteria ang dapat na i-consider sa pagbibigay ng pangalan sa ating mga daan. May ipinangalan sa mga politiko. Yung iba may Don, Donya, may foreign names pa.
Alam naman natin na mayroong mga streets dito ngayon na nakapangalan after foreigners. So wala namang specific prohibitions against that. However, if you see the NACP guidelines, nakalagay doon na encouraged to use Filipino words or indigenous names that are local to that community.
Okay.
So, may isang provision din sa NHCP guidelines na kapag foreign na ang name or foreign word ang ginamit para sa street name, it can be retained as long as it has historical and cultural significance to the place. So,
Okay.
yan.
At kung napalitan, like for example, no, can we abbreviate yung mga names of the streets? Like yun, JP Rizal instead of Jose P. Rizal. Okay lang ba yun gamitin JP Rizal lang?
Yes po. Actually, mas more on brevity kami sa NHCP. Kaya tinatanggal namin yung mga don, yung mga doktor, yung governor, even the memorial. Tinatanggal namin. So, the more na mas maiksi yung name, the better.
Parang mas mabilis i-recall.
Yes, opo.
Okay. So, attorney, how about when naming or renaming after a person? Ano yung dapat na tandaan? Pwede ba ipangalan sa tao na buhay pa? What are the guidelines?
Actually, yun yung pinaka-important na aspect. Dapat ang pagpangalan ng kalye ay sa taong hindi na buhay for a period of 10 years actually. So, merong exception yun though, na kapag kunyari ang death ng person na yun was caused by his exceptional service to the country, then the exception can be made na if ever less than 10 years pa lang from his death, pwede na siyang ipangalan sa kalye.
Okay. And then in cases na let's say a place or a street was named after one of our bayanis or maybe a late president or something, I understand there's also guidelines na merong pwede at hindi pwede. Paano po yun?
Yan po ay about the hierarchy ng mga names. So if the proposed name ng isang LGU o ng national government like the office of the president or the Congress, papalitan yung pangalan ng national heroes like Rizal, Bonifacio, etc. or appropriately named na yung lugar after presidents, hindi na pwedeng i-rename yun kasi mas mataas sila.
Okay.
As long as yung name na ipapalit ay lesser ang stature.
Hindi pwede, for example, nakapangalan sa isang presidente, papalitan ko ng pangalan ng senador.
Yes.
Hindi pwede. Pero kung president to president or president to bayani, pwede.
Kapag po kasi ganyan, dinidiscourage namin. Appropriately name na kasi sila.
Okay. Pero I understand din na kapag ang isang lugar ay may historical significance, hindi rin ito basta-basta pwedeng palitan. Diba? Paano po ba ang proseso nito? Kailangan ba muna mag-submit ng application? At ano yung guidelines ng NHCP para dito?
For naming, nasa LGU code po yan. Napaka-detalyado po ng proseso. So may mga first reading, second reading, bago po siya maging ordinance or resolution, kailangan na konsulta muna NHCP. Napakalinaw po sa LGU Code of 1991. Kailangan may prior consultation with NHCP. Pag naman po renaming, ito na po yung ginagawa namin bagong IRR, itong sa RA 11961, na maglalabas kami ng certification na kasi kami na yung nag-approve na. Wala na sa LGU ang approval ng pagre-rename. Kasi kami na po yung parang mag-decide kung dapat bang i-rename yan. Dati kasi kinoconsult lang kami at pwede kami baliwalain. So sa bagong batas, ini-empower na kami na kayo na mag-approve after due hearing.
And review.
Yes po.
Alright. Tanong ng bayan naman ang ating sagutin sa pagbabalik ng Batas et al. Tutok lang dito sa CNN Philippines.
Labs na labs sa linamnam.
Maximum Direk, yan mo na si ate. Kasi sa ₱1 lang, makakalaro ka na sa Bingo Plus.
May mga premyong pwede mapanalunan. Maglaro sa Bingo Plus app para tuloy-tuloy ang premyo at saya.
Malay mo, mapanulunan mo pa ang jackpot prize sa first online live streaming bingo sa Pinas. Pag panalo sa bingo,
Plus sa saya.
Nagbabalik ang Batas et al. Sa CNN Philippines. Sagutin na natin ang ilan pang tanong ng ating mga kababayan tungkol sa pagpangalan ng mga daan.
May expiration ba ang pangalan ng isang kalye? Tuwing kailan lang ito pwedeng palitan?
Technically, wala namang expiration date ng mga kalye. Lalo na ngayon, nakikita naman natin na may mga kalye na century na nandyan o ano. Merong prohibition on renaming street kapag within 10 years, kunyari, from the recent change, hindi pa siya pwede palitan.
Ano yung reason for that? Bakit kailangan parang 10 years after napangalanan ang isang kalye, dun pa lang siya pwedeng i-propose na palitan ulit?
I would believe na one of the reasons is practicality rin. Lalo na kung papalit-palit yung pangalan. Siyempre, mahihirapan dyan kasi kailangan mo i-inform yung Office of the President, the Bureau of Posts, so yung Postal Service, and the representative of the Congress doon sa district kung saan. So ang mangyayari dyan parang it will be difficult and confusing for the public to have the names of the streets constantly changed.
Okay. And I understand na meron ding guidelines na once napalitan na yung pangalan ng isang kalye, i-retain pa rin yung lumang pangalan dun sa sign ng street. Tama ba yun? Parang sa ilalim?
Yes po.
Paano ba yun?
Naka-inclusive parenthesis sa ilalim, formerly named, para lang po ma-preserve yung historicity. Saka yun nga, yung transition ng yung mga culture bearers o yung mga taga roon, locality, and then yung mga sa kartero. Kasi nga, hindi naman ganun kabilis ang pag-i-inform ng mga pagkapalit ng pangalan.
Okay, so aside from, of course, yung pag-disseminate ng information, it's also yung gastos kasi papalitan mo lahat ng mga street signs doon, di ba? Okay. So, narito naman ang isa pang tanong.
Pwede bang mantakda ang barangay ng pangalan ng kanilang mga kalye o baryo?
Pag tinignan natin ang local government code, makikita natin doon na may explicit na enumeration lang yung batas kung sino yung mga pwedeng magpangalan. Tapos may tinatawag na expressio unius et exclusio alterius. So, the mention of one excludes the other.
Okay.
Tapos yun. So, since naka-enumerate lang doon na provincial government, the highly urbanized cities, component cities, and municipalities can rename, excluded from that enumeration ang barangay. However, we can see ordinances issued by the LGUs wherein if sa locality nila wala pang nakapangalan na kalye doon, they can mandate the barangay to submit and recommend names to the LGU with the consultation also with the NACP.
So, once na magbigay ng suggested names yung mga baryo, kailangan iangat pa yon dun sa head ng LGU, which is the mayor, and then iakyat pa sa NHCP. Gaano usually katagal yung proseso ng pag-rename ng isang kalye?
Sa ARTA po namin, 3 to 5 days. Kasi
3 to 5 days.
As long as kompleto yung pangkapapeles, kasi ang hinihilang naman namin dyan, like for example, sa kalsada, the biography ng honoree, kasi baka mamaya hindi pa 10 years, or yung mismong resolution, just to prove na hindi nila ito pinasa prior to consultation.
Okay.
So, yun yung mga hinihingi namin. Kapag wala yun, i-reply namin na pending approval kapag wala pa yung mga needed na papeles.
Narito ang isa pang tanong.
Ano ang parusa kung hindi autorisado ang pagpapalit ng pangalan ng isang kalye?
Wala naman pong so far pang napaparusahan dyan.
Okay.
Pero madalas kasi nasusundan naman yan dahil yan ay routine ng Sangguniang Bayan, Sangguniang Panlungsod, Panlalawigan. Ito na lang talagang babantayan natin, itong bagong law, kung gaano niya maaapektuhan yung local legislation. Dahil nababanggit doon sa bagong law na no local legislation ang pwedeng mag-rename sa mga 50 years and above na names na medyo bago sa local bureaucracy.
So, meron bang mga prescribed na sanctions in cases na merong hindi sumunod dito sa bagong batas?
Actually, sa local government code, may nakalagay doon na provision wherein if a public employee or a public official does not comply with an ordinance of the LGU, then he or she can be subject to administrative sanctions without prejudice, of course, to filing of civil or criminal actions against them. So, if to give an example, merong ordinance yung isang LGU mandating na ito yung mga criteria niya, pero hindi sumunod si barangay, then pwede siyang makasuhan.
Makasuhan. Ang mga pangalan ng kalye na kinalakhan na natin ay bahagi na rin ng ating pagkakakilanlan. Kaya naman may mensahe ba kayo tungkol sa kahalagahan ng tamang pagbibigay ng pangalan sa ating mga daan? Let's start with you.
Yes po. Ito pong pagkapangalan ng mga kalsada, ng mga daan ay basic na ekspresyon ng community at ng generation na to sa mga pinapahalagahan nilang personalidad o mga pangyayari sa lipunan. So sana po ma-appreciate natin yung longevity ng mga pinibigay natin pangalan bukod sa kalituhan na maaari nitong ibunga dahil sa constant na pag-rename. Sana magkaroon din ng parang local legislation or maganda nga kung national legislation about naming kasi ngayon renaming yung law. So hopefully makapag-ambag tayo sa layer ng history na ma-appreciate ng future generation. Bakit ganito yung pinangalan yung aming kinalakhan naman na kalsada at lumilikha ng sarili niyang kasaysayan ang mga LGU sa pag-name. Kaya dapat maging maingat tayo at maging prudent sa pagpili ng mga honor natin.
Sana maging consistent palagi ang pag-name ng streets to honor people or memories that are historically and culturally significant. And sana hindi siya ma-abuse moving forward. For example, political name recall or mga ganung mga bagay. Dahil dapat true to the intention of the law tayo, of the guidelines, na dapat to honor the memory and the people who are historically and culturally significant to the country.
Alright, maraming salamat sa inyong oras, Attorney Jan Almario Chan, Senior Partner ng Chan, Robles and Associates. At si Ian Christopher Alfonso mula sa National Historical Commission of the Philippines. At maraming salamat din sa patuloy ninyong pagsubaybay sa Batas et al. Ako po si Mencho Macapagal. Hanggang sa susunod na linggo, dito lang sa CNN Philippines.
Today, we reinforce our support for Marcos administration in ensuring a food-secured Philippines.
This is the state-of-the-art Magnolia Poultry Farm in Hagonoy, Davao del Sur, built out of a commitment to serve the country. It is only one of 12 mega poultry farms that will rise in different parts of the country. At our mega farms, premium nutrition comes with optimal living conditions for the well-being, growth, and productivity of our chickens. Each farm will have as many as 28 modules of 5 houses each, equipped with automated controlled climate technology to achieve the right temperature, humidity, and air quality for bird comfort. This closed housing design and strict biosecurity controls help protect our chickens from harmful diseases. Each one will have the capacity to raise anywhere from 40 to 80 million chickens a year. Each bird weighing up to 2.5 kilos, which will give Filipinos easy access to the lowest priced and one of the healthiest sources of protein. San Miguel Foods seeks to generate net positive environmental and social impact by consolidating the various stages of food production. It means providing jobs and much-needed livelihood opportunities. In particular, our very own corn and cassava farmers. Because as we grow, we want them to grow with us. In Santa Cruz, Davao, bulk feeding ingredients are brought in and stored in our grain terminal. Then the feed milling process begins, a critical step in the value chain of poultry production. The production of these chickens start from day-old quality chicks from our poultry hatchery all across our operations, computerized feeding and watering systems, ensure a consistent supply of food and water for the birds, while conveyor harvesting systems are in place to avoid manually picking up the chickens for transport in coops to the processing plant. Here, our advanced processing equipment maintain the quality of the meat, while a ready-to-eat line adds value to the final product. Because circular economy principles are key in all this, the plant is designed with the proper wastewater treatment and rendering facilities. Feathers, offal, and mortalities are transformed into poultry meal as feed ingredients for other species, while the large volume of manure generated from the bird population are made into organic fertilizer, which are provided to our corn and cassava farmers. San Miguel Foods is committed to making transformational change by institutionalizing sustainable farm practices for food and nutrition security for the Filipino people, for the Philippines, for the planet.
This program is rated PG. It contains themes and scenes which may not be suitable for very young audiences. Parental guidance is advised.
When you're young, they ask you what you want to be. Puro mga astronaut, mga doctor, ganon. Ako tennis player na. And I think the turning point wasn't when I realized I wanted it. The turning point was more of when I saw it was legitimately possible. And I know that no matter who I play, tennis is a sport of opportunity. There's always a chance you'll win and there's always a chance you'll lose. Hi, my name is Alexandra Iyala and I play tennis. So, nagsimula ako ng 4 years old na mag-tennis. And nag-umpisa dahil sa lolo ko and mostly because of family. Si Kuya, nagtitennis sa US. He plays NCAA. And so it's really in my family, and it started out as a way for me to bond with my lolo and of course with Kuya. And I'd see him every day, nagtitennis, tapos pag-uwi niya napapagod, so gusto ko din makisali. I don't remember much from when I was that young, but I remember that I've always had a passion for the sport, and I've always, from the beginning, I fell in love with it. And I always knew that being a professional is what I wanted to do. Siyempre, idol na idol ko si Kuya. So, of course, it started out as me wanting to be like him, and then I would get medyo competitive. And I think I found my own way to express, I don't know kung ano, basta emotions, or tennis gives me joy, especially at that young age. Malaking bagay talaga yung tulong nila sa akin because it gives me motivation, it gives me a sense of security, and just to know that they're there for me, they're supporting me, and not just emotionally, diba? They're working also, they're doing the little things and going through the little struggles. So despite having their own lives, diba? Their own careers. So to me, that says how much they love me, and parang unconditional love talaga. I'm super lucky, super blessed to have the family that I have. Of course, in the start, medyo tough love din si Lolo. But, you know, in the end, I learned so many things from those experiences. And I moved away from home early. I started to study in Spain when I was 13 years old. Just trying to adjust to certain customs and being a bit more independent, being more responsible. There's so many things that moving away from home early had to gave me and a lot of lessons, and I had to kind of grow up a little bit early, but with that said, I still had the support of my family, and I was in contact with them a lot, and they do try their best to be with me as much as they can. Sa totoo lang, never to hobbies, it was always parang so serious, and I always had so much dedication for it. Syempre, you don't see a lot of really good professional tennis players in the Philippines, especially for women. So that was very limited. And I think that when I moved to Spain, that was a big jump, and that was a big decision for my whole family. And it showed that we were really dedicated to turn this into a professional career. That wasn't a decision that I took lightly. And of course, that just said that, this is real, this is what I want to do. I think a big part of it is how I was brought up. They instilled these sort of values like discipline, responsibility in me at an early age. So when I was 10, I was waking up 4:45 already to go to the gym before school, and then after school, drive 1 hour and then play 2 hours and then come home, do homework. So how I was raised is a big part of it. So I owe a lot of that to my parents. And then when I moved, I guess I had to take more initiative, and then things won't get done if you don't take control and you don't do it yourself. And I think that's one of the things that I learned is in Spain is the dedication you need to have to your career, because if you don't do anything about it, everyone can support you, right? Everyone around you can say that, oh, ang galing-galing mo na, or oh, you're working so hard. But if you don't wake up every day, kahit na ayaw mo mag-tennis, ayaw mo mag-trabaho, if you wake up and you just lay in bed, or it's so easy to say na, parang today ayoko mag-workout, ayoko mag-aral, ganun. But in the end, those little things add up, and it makes a big difference.
Conquering the universe was the ultimate, but there's more. Dahil tinawag ko ako ng Panginoon for a major, major purpose. To guide the youth, help communities, and to bring others closer to Him. Kaya I take care of my health through proper diet, exercise, and MX3 capsule. I am ready to serve. Kasi para sa Panginoon, hindi lang ako fourth runner-up. First place ako sa puso niya.
Mahalagang paalala, ang MX3 capsule ay hindi gamot at hindi dapat gamitin panggamot sa anumang uri ng sakit.
Today, we reinforce our support for Marcos administration in ensuring a food-secured Philippines.
This is the state-of-the-art Magnolia Poultry Farm in Hagonoy, Davao del Sur, built out of a commitment to serve the country. It is only one of 12 mega poultry farms that will rise in different parts of the country. At our mega farms, premium nutrition comes with optimal living conditions for the well-being, growth, and productivity of our chickens. Each farm will have as many as 28 modules of 5 houses each, equipped with automated controlled climate technology to achieve the right temperature, humidity, and air quality for bird comfort. This closed housing design and strict biosecurity controls help protect our chickens from harmful diseases. Each one will have the capacity to raise anywhere from 40 to 80 million chickens a year. Each bird weighing up to 2.5 kilos, which will give Filipinos easy access to the lowest priced and one of the healthiest sources of protein. San Miguel Foods seeks to generate net positive environmental and social impact by consolidating the various stages of food production. It means providing jobs and much-needed livelihood opportunities. In particular, our very own corn and cassava farmers. Because as we grow, we want them to grow with us. In Santa Cruz, Davao, bulk feeding ingredients are brought in and stored in our terminal. Then the feed in the production. The production of these chickens start from day-old quality chicks from our poultry hatchery. All across our operations, computerized feeding and watering systems ensure a consistent supply of food and water for the birds, while conveyor harvesting systems are in place to avoid manually picking up the chickens for transport in coops to the processing plant. Here, our advanced processing equipment maintain the quality of the meat, while a ready-to-eat line adds value to the final product. Because circular economy principles are key in all this, the plant is designed with the proper wastewater treatment and rendering facilities. Feathers, offal, and mortalities are transformed into poultry meal as feed ingredients for other species, while the large volume of manure generated from the bird population are made into organic fertilizer, which are provided to our corn and cassava farmers. San Miguel Foods is committed to making transformational change by institutionalizing sustainable farm practices for food and nutrition security for the Filipino people, for the Philippines, for the planet.
For the first time, the House of Representatives expelled one of its members. Mahigit isang oras ang itinatagal sa pila ng mga pasahero dito sa Batangas Port. Inihayag ng mga pinuno ng iba't ibang partido politikal sa Kamara ang kanilang planong i-reallocate ang confidential at intelligence funds. Umaabot hanggang bewang ang tubig baha at pumapasok sa loob ng mga bahay. Tian Arcangel, CNN Philippines.
Ang mga hamon at kahirapang nararanasan ng mga guro at estudyante tila lumalapaan nila dulot ng pandemya. Inaugural traditions bear significance because they demonstrate a sense of democratic continuity. Patuloy ang pagmomonitor ng PHIVOLCS sa mga iba-ibang parameters, pati na rin yung patuloy na mga volcanic earthquakes. AC Nichols, CNN Philippines.
siguro you just have to not think about, honestly, I have to not think about the big picture. Because when you think about too many things, it can get very overwhelming and you lose sight of what you need to do in the moment. So I try to just focus on the present and have confidence in my preparation, have confidence in my team, and I know that they believe in me. So, kumbaga, working hard and giving everything you can on the court is my way of thanking them also for all the work that they've given. And I try to take it point by point. Siyempre, there are fears. Of course, there are fears. It's only normal. And of course, there's fears that you can't achieve your goals in time, that you can't do this by a certain age, ganon. But you can't let that period of fear be too long. The way I do that is surrounding myself with good people and people who really genuinely believe in me. So that will rub off on yourself also. And then it will make your confidence, your self-esteem come out. There's always a fear of not being able to make it. But with the right work and the right people, I never doubted that I will be at the top at some point. My biggest World Junior Tennis tournament was the US Open that I won. Juniors, I won it in 2022. And that was a big step for me because it was a Grand Slam tournament, so a Junior Grand Slam.
Buong puso ko itong ipinaglaban. Hindi lang para sa sarili ko, kundi para makatulong din ako sa kinabukasan ng Philippine tennis.
Of course, when you're young, you always dream about winning the Grand Slam, having your moment, and to be able to experience a glimpse of that kahit na Junior Slam, I think was a big step for my career, and I think it impacted a lot of the youth and a lot of Filipinos as well. Junior Wimbledon was a big one for me. I lost maybe quarterfinals or the round before quarters, I forgot, but that was a painful loss. 7-5, I remember pa, 7-5 in the third, but the reason it was painful was because I was my first time there and I was so fired up, and it was a very tight match, but she ended up winning the tournament. But I think that was one of the times that I got kind of sad about the loss, because syempre some losses hurt more than others. But winning Wimbledon is really the dream, diba? Because I think my favorite, I haven't joined as a professional yet, so hopefully this year, but that's my favorite Grand Slam, and that's one of the biggest dreams that I have. And of course, my first Grand Slam as a professional was last year Australian Open. That was another very memorable. It's such a privilege to experience this love from the Filipino people, because no matter where I am in the smallest of cities in, I don't know, in the US or in Europe, parang ang liit ng place, and then a few Filipinos will come to support. So we're really everywhere, right? And I'm so grateful for that, and I'm so thankful to have this nation back me up, and it's extra motivation. Natutuwa ako sa mga bata, for sure. I love it when the kids come to see me play, because it makes me feel that I have an impact, really. And then, syempre, minsan may nabibigay din silang mga pasalubong. Like, for example, last Australian Open, a kid gave me parang teddy bear na maliit, tapos bracelet, and may kasamang letter. It was so sweet. And then the year before, there were kids watching me in Melbourne again. And then nung natalo ako, talagang umiyak. Parang, and it was so touching because I was also sad, diba? But it's nice to see that they really support me. And, in the end, I am representing our country, and, I'm doing it partly also for them. Well, I just want to say thank you so much for all of the support, diba? I definitely wouldn't be where I am without you guys, and I'm so grateful to be able to have this platform and to be able to have this influence. But I'm still, I'm still 18. This is my first journey on the professional tour, and I'm still learning new things every day. So I'm happy that I have you guys to also teach me many important lessons.
Loves na loves sa linamnam.
Maximum performance. Direk, yan mo na si ate. Kasi sa ₱1 lang, makakalaro ka na sa Bingo Plus.
May mga premyong pwede mapanalunan. Maglaro sa Bingo Plus app para tuloy-tuloy ang premyo at saya.
Malay mo, mapanulunan mo pa ang jackpot prize sa first online live streaming bingo sa Pinas. Pag panalo sa bingo,
Plus sa saya.
Bakit panatag ang loob ko sa MX3? Kasi tested and proven ito na may alpha, beta at gamma mangosteen. Mga natural na nutrients mula sa mangosteen. Meron din itong seal of quality excellence at manufactured sa GMP at ISO certified na planta. MX3 capsule is my choice. Tunay, natural at original.
Mahalagang paalala, ang MX2 capsule ay hindi gamot at hindi dapat gamiting panggamot sa anumang uri ng sakit.
Hindi sumipot si suspended Bucor Chief Gerald Bantag dito sa Department of Justice sa pagsisimula ng preliminary investigation kaugnay ng dalawang reklamong murder. Sa ikalawang araw ng World Economic Forum, magiging siksik ang schedule ng Pangulo. Dadalo siya sa Country Strategic Dialogue kasama ng kanyang economic team. Walang naipakitang malinaw na ebidensya ang prosecution na itong si Juanito Remulla III ay may alam tungkol sa droga. Anjo Alimario, CNN Philippines.
Ang legit Dapper Cats at ang pambansang Liga ng Bayan gagawing mas masaya, mas maaksyon at mas exciting ang weekends. Dahil ang Eat Bulaga at PBA Season 48 Commissioner's Cup mapapanood na rin sa CNN Philippines tuwing Sabado at Linggo. It's true! Talagang angat ang weekend dito!
Inaasahan ang landfall o ang tindi ng hagupit ng Bagyong Paeng. Kulang pa raw sila ng nasa 2 truck para makapagsimulang magiling. Tigit 400,000 na kilo ng tubo ang kayang biyahe ng steam locomotive na ito. The DA is looking at other possible supply sources to help retailers sell onions. Ang sabi ng ilang magsasaka, minadali raw talaga nila ang pag-ani. Carrie Gator, CNN Philippines.
In just 1 year, San Miguel has cleared more than 1 million tons of waste from Bulacan rivers, undertaking this initiative at zero cost to the government and taxpayers. The effort aims to alleviate long-standing flooding issues in Bulacan, particularly affecting low-lying areas in the past few decades.
To date, San Miguel has removed 1.2 cubic meters of silt and solid waste in overlying rivers in the Bulacan International Airport project. That includes the rivers of Maycapis, Taliptip, Maykawayan, and Bambang. Further north, we have included the starting of a dredging and cleaning up in the mouth of Amarawan River, which is part of the town of Malolos. This accomplishment highlights San Miguel's commitment to environmental stewardship. It contributes significantly to the clearing and increasing water capacity. The Bulacan River cleanup just reached its 1 million cubic meter milestone in just 1 year, as compared to our previous project, the Tulyahan River project, which was completed in 27 months, whereas the Pasig River is completed in 20 months. The speed of this achievement is a testament to the dedication of the San Miguel cleanup team and, of course, the experience gained from our previous dredging and cleanup projects, and the pooling of additional equipment and manpower to have an effective and faster result.
San Miguel is also expanding its efforts to more upstream rivers in the province as part of the recently launched Adopt a River project. This initiative by SMC also covers rivers and tributaries in Pampanga, Cavite, Navotas, Laguna, and other areas.
Bathymetric surveys and hydraulic studies are conducted before the formal start of these activities, and we are expecting to proceed this coming December.
As San Miguel Corporation leads the restoration of our rivers, it's important to recognize that preserving these vital resources is a shared responsibility. Let's unite to ensure that the progress in river restoration becomes a lasting legacy, securing a cleaner, safer environment for future generations.
Lately I've tried to read a bit more, get off my phone, get off social media, and then I like to shop. I'm a very girly girl, and I like to go out to eat with my family, with my friends, watch movies, because when I'm not playing tennis, I prefer to just relax and not do anything very sporty or very active. Aside from going to the beach, I live in Mallorca, so madaming beach doon, and I really like to explore the island. My favorite cuisine is Filipino cuisine. Syempre, I like barbecue, caldereta, adobong pusit, sisig. Yeah, all of those. And I think it's very homey, gives me a sense of, when I'm in other countries and then I go to a Filipino restaurant or I just have Filipino food, it makes me feel like I'm back home. And I don't get to be here very often, so it's also a pleasure to go out and try the Pinoy foods. I like rom-coms, I like action, and So the latest movie I watched was Blood Diamond, yung kay Leonardo DiCaprio, and I think I like to see movies with deep meaning, I guess, yung mga mabibigat. And then, on the other side of the spectrum, mahiling din ako sa mga rom-coms or light viewing that I can watch while stretching or I can watch while packing my bags. Well, they really make the effort to spend time with me. They travel. Lalo na my dad, he's able to travel more with me, and he's very involved in my career. My mom too. But I don't see her as often. She doesn't travel with me as often. But every time, that just makes it that every time we're together and every time we're complete as a family, then it makes it even more special. And then it's just the little things. They always come to watch my training. I'm sure they're tired of waiting hours. And then we try new restaurants like that. And then we watch movies together. Like, yeah. The first one, if you want to be professional talaga, you cannot doubt. There's no room for doubt. And I learned that from my dad. And it makes a difference when you have confidence in yourself. Second one, probably to surround yourself with people. I think that has proven time and time again to be an important factor into why I am successful. And the last one is that in whatever you do, I think you have to love it and you have to have passion, even when not everything that you do you enjoy for the sport or for your career or whatever. Basta what you're doing, you love it and you have passion. Because, for example, me, if I didn't love tennis, I don't think I would be able to handle all the training. I wouldn't be able to handle all the struggles. You know? Hopefully, I'll be higher in the ranks, maybe, who knows, a Grand Slam. And I think still working hard, still trying to improve myself. And yan nga, yung that you have to love what you do. You can't force yourself to go through all of these things and still, without love, and still be happy or motivated. Or if you need to do something that you don't really enjoy, I think you need to find time to do things that make you happy. And it's all about balance. It's all about balance.
This program is rated PG. It contains themes and scenes which may not be suitable for very young audiences. Parental guidance is advised.
Connecting with people, engaging with them, and learning from each other is how we find our biggest rewards. As a people and as a nation, infrastructure development plays a pivotal role in our growth and development. Access to good road networks, highways, and bridges is crucial. But that's just one main ingredient in the recipe for achieving progress. It's about planning and foresight towards a sustainable and prosperous future. If you're in a mood for gastronomic adventure, you've come to the right place. Today, we explore the flavors of Quezon. From Metro Manila, the South Luzon Expressway, or SLEX, quickly links us to this beautiful province. First on the menu is tamales.
Ang aming pong tamales ay may pangunahing sangkap, kagaya ng galapong na bigas at nilaig na dahon ng saging. At sa murang halaga, ay talagang kayo po ay mabubusog. Ginagawa po ang tamales sa purong bigas po talaga. Then, pagkatapos po namin itong ipagiling, saka po kami magre-ready ng mga ingredients, kagaya ng sibuyas, bawang, paminta, mani, at marami pa pong iba.
Papakita ko po sa inyo kung paano gumawa ng masarap na tamales at malinamnam dito sa Sariaya, Quezon. Igigisa na po natin ang sibuyas. Yan. Si tosta na, ilalagay ko na ngayon ang garlic. Susunod ko po ay ang ating giniling na bigas. Plain rice. At atin pong lalagyan ng chicken broth. At yan. Ang ating tamales ay nilalagyan ng mani at dagdag pampasarap po sa tamales na malalasahan po siya ng ating mga customer, yung mga mamimili. Yan, rotonis yan. At siya po ibabalutin natin sa dahon ng saging. At yun din naman po nagpapasarap din sa kanya yung aroma ng dahon na nilagyan. Magigisa po tayo ulit ng pangalawang halo natin na ito naman po ay pulang giniling na bigas. Ilalagay ko na po ngayon ang bawang.
Ilalagay na po natin ang sinangag na pinagiling na bigas. At hahaluin po natin ang tulad dun sa isa hanggang sa tumigas na siya.
After pong maluto nung galapong na bigas, ilalagay po namin sa nilaig na dahon ng saging. Then lalagyan po namin sa ibabaw bilang toppings ang nilagang itlog. Kasunod po nito ang paglalagay ng adobong manok or adobong baboy. Babalutin po namin ito sa nilaig na dahon ng saging. Tapos, tatalian po ito at dadalhin na po ito sa steamer upang maluto 30 to 1 hour. Ito po kasi ay parang ulam at kanina po. Nasa 10 pisong halaga ay talagang mabubusog po talaga sila. Karamihan po sa tumitikim at bumibili ng aming tamalis ay ang mga turista sa Karatig Bayan lamang. Ganun na rin po kasama na rin ang mga Maynilain. Sa katunayan, maging sa ibang bansa, nadadala na rin nila at tinatangkilik. Malaki ang naitutulong ng mga bagong daan, highway at expressway upang mabilis silang makapag-travel or makapunta paririto sa Quezon. At mas nakakatulong po dahil mas maraming turista ang bibili at dadayo sa bayan ng Sariaya upang bumili ng aming mga produkto.
Now let's try some local seafood. Indulge in pinais na hipon.
Ang pinais ay isang delicacy at native na pagkain dito sa bayan ng Tayabas. Unang ingredients natin, itong ating kinudkod na buko. Lalagyan natin ng apta. Paghaluin natin itong mga sukal, bawang, kamamba na tinadtad, asin. Haluin natin to, tapos tayo nagpakulo na tayo dito ng sabaw ng buko para gagamitin natin mamaya sa pagluluto ng pinais. Kuha po tayo ng daon ng saging. Then yung pong kamamba, ito po, kamamba. Ano siya, may halo siya ng pait na kaunti, pero pag naano na natin dito nasama na natin sa marinade na pinais natin, naano na siya, nawawalan. Ang lasa ng pinais, manamis-namis na pinaghalo ng alat at saka tamis. Ang pinais po ay kailangan pong makuha natin yung pinakatamang marinade ng ilang oras. Yung pagluluto po natin, kailangan 1 oras po siya bago sabihin natin na okay na, luto na. Ito na yung lutong pinais na pinagmamalaki ng bayan ng Tayabas.
For desserts, nothing beats Quezon Province's budin.
Yung iba, pudding. Sa iba naman, ay sabi, kasaba cake. Yun na lang ang kinagisnang kung pangalan niyang merienda na yan, budin. Sabi nga, pag ang ginagawa mo ay may kasamang pagmamahal, talagang mape-perfect mo yan. Kaya ang sikreto ng Coras Budin, sa bawat pagtitimpla ko, naroon ang pagmamahal. Malalasa mo ang gatas at keso. Parang lasang litsiplan na maligat. Kasamsaman lang ang tamis niya. Masaya ako dahil diyan sa pagbubudi na yan, napaaral ko ang mga anak ko. Yung aking anak, humalili na siya. Kaya hindi mawawala yung ng budin. Patuloy na may magmamana ng paggagawa niya.
Ang ingredients po natin ay ang mga sumusunod: keso, gatas, itlog, asukal, vanilla, at saka ang kasaba. Uunahin po natin ilagay sa giniling na kasaba ang keso. Sumunod po ang margarine or butter. Imimix natin yung margarine at keso. Hintayin natin silang magsama. Lalagay naman natin ngayon ng itlog at saka vanilla. Yun din yung gatas. Pinakang huli yung asukal. Imimix uli natin siya. Matapos nating mapaghalo-halo yung mga kasama at ingredients, ipapasok na natin sa oven. Hayaan natin siya na maluto sa loob ng 1 oras. Itong budin masarap itong pare sa mga noodles. Malaking tulong talaga sa amin yung pagkakaroon ng magandang mga kalsada. Dahil siyempre from Manila o from San Pablo, Calamba, talagang mabilis na. Kasi mayroong mga diversion bypass road, napakabilis na ng biyahe ngayon. At siguro pag sa katuparan na yun, TR4 Expressway, malaking tulong para sa amin. Hindi lang sa akin, kundi dun sa ibang mga kasamahan ko na nagkagawa din nito na mayroon na kaming chance na mapalawakan itong aming itong production namin. Mas matitikman na nila itong masarap na espesyal na budin na galing sa aming bayan.
Sa mga pagkain na banggit, kagaya ng budin at pinais, ito ay gawa ng mga eksperto dito sa Tayaba sa panggagawa ng naturang produkto. Kaya naman gustong-gusto ng mga pumupunta dito yon, yung linamnam at saka yung sangkap na maaaring dito lang matagpuan sa Tayabas.
Then take a bite of the pastry called pinagong.
Dito lang po sa bayan ng Sariaya kayo makakita ng tinapay na hugis pinagong o turtle shape na tinapay. At once po na matikman nyo ang aming pinagong, ito po ay siguradong babalik-balikan nyo dahil ito po ay maraming nagsasabi na lasang gatas at perfect na perfect i-partner sa kape. So una po, pinaghahalo-halo po yung mga dry and mga wet ingredients kagaya po ng mga flour, butter, yeast, baking powder, tubig at mga itlog. Pagkatapos hong ma-mix na to ng maayos, ito naman po ay aming i-roller para mas maging pino at hindi ho magaspang yung kalabasan ng aming produkto. Pagkatapos po nito, ito naman po ay aming ihuhulma sa sikat na shape nito na turtle shape na tinapay. After po nun, ay ready na po siyang ipasok sa oven para maluto. Unti-unti nang nakikilala ang pinagong Sariaya, nagiging pride na rin siya para sa amin na meron kaming isang produktong ipinagmamalaki. At aside doon, ang laking tulong din kasi yung sa mga staff namin, mas nabibigyan ng hanap buhay at hindi lang sa mga staff namin, pati ng mga reseller. So, nakakaisip sila, especially nung pandemic na uso yung mga online selling. So, meron silang extra income. For me, naniniwala ako na malaki ang impact ng road development sa pag-boost ng economy at tourism industry ng isang bayan. Kaya naman, the more na mas madaming infrastructures, mas madaming highways, expressways, mas magiging accessible ito sa ibang tao at mas maiengganyo sila na dumayo sa aming bayan. Hopefully, dumating yung time na kapag napag-usapan ang bayan ng Sariaya, ang unang papasok sa isip ng mga tao ay kami ang original maker ng pinagong. Pag napag-usapan ang pinagong Sariaya, automatic sa kanila na sa Villajegos Bakery and pasalubong sila makakahanap ng isang quality at authentic na pinagong Sariaya.
Today here at the Carrera showroom in Alabang, we introduced to the Philippine market the BMW i4, as well as the formal introduction of connected services known as the BMW Connected Drive to the Philippine market. This one is the i4 eDrive 35, a single motor rear wheel drive 4-door coupe. This is the fourth electric vehicle we have in the BMW lineup.
To give you a quick overview of what the BMW Connected Drive will look here in the Philippines. Basically, you have to download the My BMW app, and then the driver can perform basic operating features such as locking and unlocking the car, finding the vehicle where he last parked. Next, you get the digital key, and you can also generate a QR code from the My BMW app, wherein the driver can share to 5 different users. The BMW maps that come with the car is cloud-based, and it has a dynamic route calculation, which will inform the driver of the real traffic scenario that is building up or happening. There is also the intelligent personal assistant. And lastly, you have the remote software upgrade, which will download all real-time updates to make the car even more interactive to the driver.
Anybody who wants to visit or take a look at the new i4 and know more about our connected drive services can visit our dealers and get more information.
Needing vitamin C in your getaway? Then Sariaya, the beach playground of Quezon, got you covered.
Welcome sa Magilas na bayan ng Sariaya, the beach playground of Quezon Province! Yay!
Ang Sariaya po, isa sa pinupuntahan ng mga turista tuwing summer. Siguro kasi dahil yung Sariaya, kahit hindi kami white sand, yung buhangin namin is matino siya. And then yung aming shoreline is malawak. So yung mga bata may mga lugar na para maglaro. And also yung mga matatanda, pwede silang lumakad ng walang tsinelas. Safe sila. May enjoy nila yung paligid. Sa Sariaya, Quezon po, marami po tayong mga beach resorts po dito. Isa lang po yung Monte Vista. And then yung mga katabi po natin, lahat po kami may kanya-kanyang ganda. Na yun po yung siguro yung dahilan bakit po kami binabalik-balikan ng mga customer. Sa Sariaya po kasi, una po namin tinitingnan is yung service po namin. Kung paano po namin pakikitunguhan yung mga guests. Gusto po namin na isipin po nila na nasa bahay lang po sila. And then ma-enjoy po nila yung paligid namin. Magawa nila yung banding nila bilang pamilya. Lahat po, yun po yung aming target. Yung pag pumasok po sila sa kahit aling resort, hindi lang po sa Monte Vista, kahit sa mga katabing resort, isipin po nila na nasa sa bahay po namin kami. Dito po sa Monte Vista, meron po kaming iba-iba klaseng mga rooms. Depende po sa inyo kung ano po yung inyong magugustuhan. Meron din po kami mga cottages na pang full day lang. Doon sa Nipa Huts, parang mas mapifeel mo yung nasa probinsya ka. And then dito sa Monte Vista, meron kaming mga iba-iba na mga activities na pwede nyong gawin na binibigay naming free doon sa mga pumupunta dito. Katulad po ng volleyball, and then meron kaming mini golf, kayaking, wala po kayong babayadan. Magagamit niyo po yung lahat po ng mga amenities po namin dito sa Monte Vista po. Ang turismo po, napakalaking tulong po sa mga Sariayahin. Priority po talaga namin na kuhaning empleyado. Yung mga taga-Sariaya po, hindi po kami nagdi-discriminate ng age, nagdi-discriminate ng natapos. Kasi po sa amin, ang importante po, yung may kakayanan po sila na gawin yung trabaho, yung mga anak ng pamilya, kalimitan, nakakapag-aral sila dahil yung kanilang mga tatay or nanay nagtatrabaho sa resort. Yung pagkakaroon po ng SLEX, and then isama din po natin yung ecotourism road. Sa bayan po ng Sariaya, malaking tulong po. I-enjoy na nila yung biyahe nila. So pagdating po dito, mas maganda po yung feedback nila. And then mas maayos po yung pagdating nila. And then kahit yung mga sasakyan po nila, nadadala na po nila. And then kahit mag-commute po sila, mas madali na lang din po. Kaya sobrang magandang epekto po yung ginawa po ng mga kalsada po sa atin.
we can also go on a cultural trip with Quezon Province's colonial houses.
Pagdating po sa heritage houses, pinagmamalaki po namin yan. Kasi po, yung pong mga nanggawa ng heritage houses na ito ay di kampanilyang arkitekto. Like meron po kaming bahay dito, gawa ni Andres Luna de San Pedro, 2 bahay. Si Andres Luna de San Pedro po ay anak po ni Juan Luna, pamangkin Antonio Luna. At ito pong bahay na papasukin natin mamaya, Don Catalino Rodriguez NHI Heritage House. Siya po naman ay gawa ng isang Kastila, si Juan Herbas, na siya po yung gumawa ng Tutuban Station sa Manila. Kaya po kami ay proud dahil yung pong mga napaparitong mga buildings ay gawa po ng mga talagang dekampanilya at sikat na mga arkitekto. Welcome po sa Don Catalino Rodriguez NHI Heritage House. Ito po ang pruweba na siya ay one of the 3 heritage houses recognized by the NHI. Ang distinguishing characteristic ng bahay na ito ay bukod po sa ganitong maraming ukit-ukit, ay meron po silang from wall to ceiling na mga painting. Sa gaya po nito, kung yung focus nyo sa ceiling, ayan po ay rambutan. So ito po yung malaking bulwagan ng tahanan ni Don Catalino Rodriguez. Alam naman po natin sa mga lumang bahay, napakahalaga ng malawak na bulwagang ito. Bakit? For socialization, dito sila nagkakaroon ng mga kasayahan. O kung tawagin namin sa Sariaya ay mga punsyunan. As usual, mataas ang ceiling, and then you have ventanillas dito para maganda ang ventilation. Tapos, compared po dun sa baba, medyo simple na yung ceiling niya, pero maganda pa rin tingnan. And then tingnan naman po ninyo yung sahig. Hindi siya basta sahig na diretso. May mga design pa. So, you can really see na pinagkagastusan talaga itong bahay na ito. So, ito po ay isang pagpapakita kung paano nabuhay yung ating mga ninuno noong panahon. Yung hindi po natin naabutan na pamumuhay nung una ng ating mga ninuno, ay makikita po natin ngayon sa pamamagitan ng pagtutur sa mga bahay nito. Kasi visually, makikita nila kung paano ginawa yung mga bahay. At the same time, yung mga kagaya namin na tour guide na alam namin ang mga kasaysayan ng mga bahay na ito, base sa kasaysayan ng aming bayan, na ibahagi po namin. So, it's part of education also. Parini na po sa Quezon, kilalanin po niyo ang aming napakalaki, makasaysayan, makakalikasan, at makulay na lalawigan.
Watch a snowbound 350 horsepower SUV get rescued by some actual horsepower. That's how they do in Amish country, Tennessee, where the large SUV was caught on camera stuck forward pitched in a snowy ditch. Thankfully, eyewitnesses say an Amish gentleman from the nearby town of Etheridge responded with a pair of hulking horses, and when their heaving horsepower was paired with some people pushing, the SUV was pulled from its precarious and powdery predicament. Speaking of predicaments, a malfunctioning water tower created a very icy one for the small town of Bolton, Mississippi. Officials say an internal level sensor froze and caused the storage tower to overflow. Add some frosty air to the cascading water and voila, you've got yourself one heck of an icy mess. When it comes to the bitter cold, one crafty Canadian decided if you can't beat them, join them, using the freezing temps to create trippy Arctic artwork out of everyday household items and food stuff literally frozen in time by the extreme cold. The vids were posted to social media, leaving viewers wiling out at the wintry works of art. And finally, from random stuff frozen to a vintage bridge implosion. Officials in West Virginia didn't let the cold stop them from giving this 1935 bridge over the Elk River a proper retirement send-off after 89 years of dutiful service. And by proper send-off, I mean blasting it to smithereens. How's that for going out with a bang? For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Before you leave Quezon Province, make sure to shop for local products and handicrafts in Tayabas City.
Sa buong Quezon, sagana tayo sa buli at saka saratan. Kasi ito, nabubuhay lang ito sa gubat, hindi mo na siya kailangang alagaan. Nakaisip kami ng paraan kung ano yung pwede naming gawin dun sa raw materials na yon. Isa na nga dito yung sombrero na kadalasang ginagamit ng mga sipag natin magsasaka. Ang weavers kasi ngayon, pawala na eh. This is a dying business. Kasi ito ay mga tradisyonal na ginagawa ng mga sinaunang tao. Ngayon, wala rin man masyadong nag-i-engage sa kabataan dito sa gantong business, di ba? So kaya, pinipreserve ko yung business na to sa tulong ng mga tauhan ko pa noong unang panahon pa na like 30 years ago. Mahalaga kasi na ma-preserve natin dahil gusto kong mapanatili at mapakilala ang gawang Pinoy sa buong mundo sa larangan ng paghahabi. Sa mga raw materials ng buli at tratan, pwede tayong gumawa ng mga sombrero, ng mga bags, kahit yung mga pamaypay. Sa mga interior, katulad ng mga wall designs, pwede rin. At sa tulong na rin ng DTI Quezon Province, na tulungan nila ako para ma-develop yung mga products. Katulad ng mga bags, na hindi ko alam dati, pwede pala natin i-contemplate sa mga leather. Nagkaroon din ako ng ideas na bakit hindi ko tulungan yung mga local artisan dito sa community namin na bigyan sila ng gawain. Kaya at least hobby lang nila. Tapos bibenta ko dito sa black market na sa ngayon naman ay tinatangkilik ng ating mga mamamayan.
Dito po naman sa lugar namin, halos ang mga tao po rito kalimitan, maalam na po talaga silang mag-basket, magsintas. Yung ganyan pong hanap buhay ang number one po nung panahon nung una eh. Basta po nakahiligan ko na po nung medyo nagdalaga ako na napasama sa pagkakamba, sa paglalako. Ayan po number one ang aking Pirjus, yung pinakang burit product. Doon ho ako nagsimulang matuto na maigi pala mapangwartahan niyaan. Kaya siya po ang pinagpatuloy ko hanggang sa nagkaasawa ko sa pamilya. Gusto ko pong matuto yung ibang hindi maalam para kumalat po kung saan man lugar magkaroon sila ng hanap buhay kung tagasaan man sila. Kaya po sa materialis po naman, huwag lang putulin ang ating puno ng buli. Marami po tayong materialis na makukunan.
Nung pumasok ko sa business ito, talagang wala akong alam eh. Nagkaroon lang talaga ako ng sipag na mag-aral para matulungan ko yung mga magulang ko. Na sa ngayon ay nailabas ko na rin yung talento ko doon sa mga nasabing produkto. Maraming tumatangkilik ng produkto namin at may mga pupunta ring turista kasi nakikita nila yung interest nila dun sa produkto. Nakakarating na rin ito sa iba't ibang lugar ng Pilipinas at marami din pasalamat kasi nakarating na rin ito sa iba't ibang sulok ng mundo. Sa tulong ng expressways and highways, mas napapabilis yung biyahe ng mga produkto at nagkakaroon ng encouragement ang mga turista na pumunta dito sa aming lugar. Ang pangarap ko sa MR Handicraft ay makilala ang bawat Pilipino sa buong mundo sa larangan ng paghahabi at paglalala.
From its rich history, pristine beaches, and delicious meals, Quezon Province will easily become one of your favorite travel destinations.
Dito sa dagat na ito, pumalaot ang magkapatid na mangingisda. Sabi ng mga taga-Sitio Kapihan, puro kabutihan lang ang tinuturo ni Senyor Aguila. Parts of Batangas were gloomy as thick toxic fog from Taal volcano blocked sunlight. Cabinet members and lawmakers praised the State of the Nation address. Patuloy pa rin ang matinding ulan at hangin na dulot ng bagyong Goring. Denise Fernandez, CNN Philippines.